You said that you love winning. What drives you more, the love of winning or the hate of losing?
Maybe equally, maybe both. I don't like losing, and I do like winning.
Say his name and he appears.
This is a friendship that'll never ever end.
Greetings and welcome to Winning 2024 Special Edition, Saturday afternoon. I'm coming to you live today on Rumble, X, and YouTube because President Trump is making his historic return to Butler, Pennsylvania. When Elon Musk is going to be there, JD Vance, and we just can't miss this historic event. So we're going to cover this exclusively today, as well as a little warm up here with something that you won't see anywhere else. And that is a showing of Tucker Carlson Network, The Art of the Surge. It's a stunning visual account of Trump on the campaign trail. This particular episode is important because it actually is talking about July 13th. It's showing you never before seen footage, and it talks about his return. So it's got it all. It's about a 30-minute watch. So as we're waiting for the president to speak, we'll be able to watch this together. I think it'll be very inspiring. And I think you guys will dig it. And then we can just chat, and then we can just talk in the chat as we're doing that. Wolfram is here. He's dropping the links. He's saying, hey, what's up? Thank you for dropping those links, Wolfram. And thank you for the links you sent me in Discord. And remember to listen to the Wolf. He knows what he's talking about. He wipes his paws, lips in a house, and he is here. And so is Shelly. And I realized I just came sliding in sideways, and it will take people a few minutes to figure out what the heck is going on. So I get it. We're gonna have a little bit of a slow start here, and I'm still kind of piecing things together because I woke up late. I was up late last night fixing my audio, which should be fine today. Hopefully everything is coming across nice and crisp and clear, and we won't have any more problems like that. And thanks to T-Rex Trucking and more for sitting up with me late last night and helping me work out the bugs. I do appreciate that. It was a late night, so I'm still kind of groggy. It's just kind of a little bit like the morning edition right now for me. Oh man, but we'll get there. We got a lot to go over today. And as I just get here and get things straight. Oh, great, awesome. Thanks, Wolfram. Awesome. I'll talk about some stuff as I'm gonna be talking in the mic as I'm kind of fiddling around here. Yeah, it's going to be a good day. We talked about this. And we got to show this historic event. I don't think it's not like we're not on, what's going to happen next watch. I don't think anything's going to happen. I think we're going to see the kind of security we should have saw last time. So I don't think that they're going to let anything happen again. I mean, I'm not the guy. I'm not the guy that's going to tell you that. I'm not the guy that's going to tell you to believe in grifts or anything like that. So I think that everything's going to be fine today. And God willing, I think it's gonna be a great rally. And I think that we're gonna see Elon Musk today. Elon Musk is on his way, and he's definitely confirmed to be there. So we're gonna be seeing that. I'm gonna keep an eye on everything here on the side, and make sure that we don't miss anything important. We got a couple of different eyes on that, but I do want to get to showing you this great presentation today. And we got to figure out where we're going to watch this. I think we're probably going to try to watch it on Donald J. Trump's channel. He usually doesn't go live, but he usually doesn't go live until let me check out Rumble real quick. He usually doesn't go live until he speaks. So I'll have to check out, and I'm going to be looking around for things. Luckily, I got this Art of the Surge here that'll it's all the Tucker Carlson Network, and so it doesn't interfere with anything. There's a lady speaking right now, so we got some time, and that's why I started early, because this stunning episode of Art of the Surge from the Tucker Carlson Network is it's about 30 minutes, but it's captivating. I mean, I'm telling you, it's captivating. It sucks you right in, and I think you guys will really enjoy it. What we got here, Bob We got 8 winners over here in YouTube. We got 11 out on X. Rumble is rumbling over there. What's up, Rumble? I'd like to say thank you to a lot of new followers over here. It's like we hit 500 and took off. Let's see. Serenity 874, the Snowman 92, Smarty 33, and Nanny W. Crystal Pontac was the 500. So now we're up to 504. All right, let's get to 600 today. Yeah. Let's get greedy, y'all. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Thank you so much. And you can also find me on Rumble, on X and YouTube if you do those kind of things. But Rumble rocks, and thank you so much for being a part of it. Let's see. We also do this when we get new members over here on YouTube.
It's cold up there in Vietnam. It has to do. I can't imagine a more beautiful thing. It's cold. I can tell you all about it. I mean, look at this thing. Gonna try to get out of anything.
Shelly, thank you for the 10 gifted memberships. That's very awesome of you. Thank you so much. Let's see who got them. GG, Dreamwreck, AC, RG Drone 47, The Unburdened number 6. That guy has he has a familiar looking avatar. Christy Lee, Legendary Racing, Lady Autumn Sky, Indy, K Marshall, Madcore. Oh, look at all those great winners out there. Thank you so much, Shelly. That was very nice of you. Thank you so much. All right, we're going to have a great day, guys. Let me go ahead and get this kind of pulled up. And if you're here, you're lucky. This is a great, this has never seen footage before. Never before seen footage from behind the scene. Kate Zapp, what's up? Cat Zapp, what's up? Woohoo. Awesome that you're here. Nice to see you. Shelly was the one giving out those great memberships. So she's right there. Shelly is talking trash to truths, by the way. I know I call her Shelly because I know her personally. And she calls herself Shelly on her own show. So all right. So let's see. I need to pull this over here. And I'm going to pull this here. Man, you guys, if you haven't seen the Art of the Surge series, which I'm going to show up front just so we don't, we can see this. It really fits with the day, what we're doing today, because it's going to cover July 13th behind the scenes footage. It's shot in stunning 4K. Even though you won't be able to see it that way, but the images are crisp, they're professional. They're just, going to be blown away. I think I should just go ahead and shut up and start playing it. And I should actually do this because I've forgotten about it already. If I don't, thank you to all the Winner Circle members, YouTube members that are reoccurring, that are monthly memberships. Thank you so much. And thank you to Shelly and Wolfram, who are also recurring monthly members over on Rumble. I am broadcasting on Rumble, YouTube, and X as always. And here we go. Nice to be here. Linked from your post on Good Logic and Viva Barnes. Oh, nice. Yeah, two awesome people. I've known them for a long time. And Viva got me into all this LawTube stuff. And then Joe is probably my go-to. He's been over on the show before. I tend to redirect people from my show over to Good Logics because he goes on after me. And actually, the majority of my members also watch Good Logic. That's that little stat you get as a creator. I actually did a documentary of Viva Fry 2 years ago when he fled Canada in the middle of the night with his children and wife and his 2 dogs, the special needs dogs, and came to Florida for sanctuary, for asylum from the tyrannical Canadian government. It's called Viva Fry's Permanent Vacation. I love that documentary, that mini doc. It is, and it's spoken in his own words, and it's got all Canadian music in it. So Canada has a lot of great bands. They really do, and I tried to include all of them. It's a fun little parody. I think you'll enjoy it. If you like Viva, you'll love Viva Fry's Permanent Vacation. And there's a couple shorts out there that go with it, and a couple, anniversary editions and stuff that are shorter. It's all the same stuff, but I'd watch the original. I love that. I love it. I've said it before. It's a great thing. So if you like those guys too, I also, Joe was featured in LawTube is Getting Weird, a parody series I did when I first started the channel. I don't do those anymore. But there's a great video out there of him. Let's see, do I still have it? Let's see, do I still have the Good Logic one here? Oh yeah, here we go.
They say the devil's water, it ain't so sweet. You don't have to drink right now, but you can dip your feet every once in a little while. Sing me a lullaby, come on!
There you go. That's always a fun one. Always gives me chills. Joe loves that one. The whole thing in that was like, the song is called "When You Were Young," and it's by his favorite band, the Killers, and it shows like a young version of Joe and an old version of Joe. It's my artistic side coming out there from way back. All right, speaking of artistic, let's get rolling with this because I don't want to miss any of the speeches that are coming up or any of the activities that are coming up over at the rally right now. So the warm-up speakers are still going. We have plenty of time. I promise you won't miss a thing. Please enjoy this special exclusive showing of Tucker Carlson Network's The Art of the Surge, a new series where his cameramen were behind the scenes on the Trump trail, the Trump campaign trail. And this was the July 13th episode, the one that features July 13th. I think you're going to love it. Let's rock.
No. Let me show you. You look great.
What's going on there? Are they having riots?
No, that was from a different rally.
You look great.
They ought to put a 1-year penalty. You burn the flag. You burn the American flag, that you go to jail for 1 year. And they say it's unconstitutional, but they have to change it. You shouldn't be allowed to burn the American flag. My new book is coming out. It's called Save America. I think you're going to love it. And go out and get it. You're going to be very happy. So this is a book that we just came out with. And I think it's really amazing. Look at it. Every leader all over the world. Melania, India, North Korea, Kim Jong-un. This was a very famous picture right here. But I got along great with him, too. I got along really great with him. And we had no problem. It's crazy. That could have been resolved. This is President-in-Chief of China. A very powerful leader of China, maybe the most powerful leader ever, maybe. You have some others, obviously, but he's right in that category. Very good relationship. I made a fantastic trade deal with China, $50 billion. They had to buy $50 billion a year from us. President-in-Chief is a very amazing man. Controls a country with an iron fist. He's very smart. I got along with him very good until COVID came along, but I'll get along with him good again. And here's another one. And this is with Queen Elizabeth. Right here, who was fantastic, by the way. These images, I mean, who has images like this? And these were relationships, too. Look, here's now the king. Here's Charles with the guard. And this is the Queen Elizabeth. It's a piece of history at the highest level. Look, it's Charles. So beautiful. And they'll see the most beautiful places in the world. There are no places like this. And hopefully he's going to be well, because he's a really good person. Camilla is fantastic. And you get to know him so well. This is your favorite president with the Queen. She was unbelievable. She was great. We had a very good relationship, really good. This is NATO right here. This is at the United Nations. These are just great pictures. Interesting. Justice Amy Coney Barrett. Very high quality photos. Wonderful guy. So
Most
interesting.
famous
Even
photo.
talking to you now and showing you like this was going to last for 2 seconds. And you start turning the pictures and even me, I mean, I'm looking at these pictures. So beautiful. Look, this is with the First Lady in front of the White House. Really something. Look, standing in front of the church, very famous photo. Christians love this photo. It wasn't put out of love, but Christians love the photo. It's such history. It's not about me, but as you go through the book, it's like you can't put it down. Look, this is unbelievable. You know what that is, right? South Dakota, beautiful state. And the cover is actually, we decided to do that. That's a cover.
Here's your iced tea. You're welcome, dear. How are you? Good here? So I got fortunate when I went to the rally on the 13th. I'll be right back. We were going to stand in the field, and I don't know if it was FBI or Secret Service actually come up and asked us if we wanted to sit behind Trump on the stage. So that's where I was at, was right behind Trump. Come on into my office. I hide down here. This is from behind the stage,
buddy.
where I was
You doing?
seated up in the upper right over Dawn's shoulder, looking out to the crowd. I went to his rally in 2020. One of the best times I ever had in my life. This one, not so much.
Not sure.
The crowd was massive in Butler.
The energy is palpable. President Donald J. Trump expected any minute now.
I came from a background of event planning and large outdoor events, which I thought could translate to outdoor rallies.
These outdoor rallies have like an extra element of, I guess, surprise, wouldn't you say?
It's a lot easier to put on an indoor rally. You control everything.
We are live here, RSBN.
When you're outdoors, you have to build everything that's going to be there, right? It just starts as a piece of grass, and then eventually it has to become what it is. Outdoor rallies are a little bit more difficult, but it was going as expected.
Nothing felt off that day. It just felt like another normal rally day.
Everybody's out here ready, energized, and excited. So many fabulous patriots. And
There was really nothing unusual, nothing out of the ordinary.
so many exciting things going on. And in just moments, President Donald J. Trump will take the stage.
Mayor Longo, you started the day here in Butler. You were in an attempt to meet the president and photo with him.
I gotta say, I was just so impressed by how complimentary he was. And my wife got to join me. So again, it was a great honor. She was so excited as a law enforcement officer to be able to enjoy a moment with the president. Then he asked me about what it was like on the ground here. He said, "What's going on in Butler County, Mayor? How is it looking?"
Hey, Daisy, how
out
you
there
doing?
in Pennsylvania? I
You
said,
have
"Mr.
me
President,
saying,
Butler County's working very hard for you, sir. We're going to deliver Pennsylvania to you and get you back to the White House."
I wear many hats. I help run the office here at Mar-a-Lago. When we're on the road, I mainly focus on behind-the-scenes videos of President Trump.
T-Rex, trucking, and more. How you doing, buddy? Welcome.
The buffer, which is the area between the
Thanks
stage
again for
and the
hanging with me
crowd.
last
Working
night.
with you guys is always a pleasure.
Claudia.
So I was happy to bring you backstage and use the buffer wherever we were going to go for the day's events.
You just wanted to say hello to you before the interview. Yeah. Okay. So this is Selena.
He asked to meet with one of the reporters who would later be a big part of this
Tucker
story,
Carlson
Selena
Network,
Zito, a great
part of the
reporter.
surge, the
And
Donald Trump
because of
comeback.
that, she was escorted from the clicks area into the
Episode
buffer.
2.
And normally she wouldn't be in that area, but because of the circumstances and the timeline, she ended up there. And it became a big part of the story.
Listen, you gonna fly?
Yeah. My photographer with me.
And you and I can have some fun, okay?
Totally.
Because this place is exploding.
Usually I'm in the buffer the whole time. This was actually abnormal for me that day. I always stay in the buffer until all the photographers leave. And about 5 minutes in, I thought, well, let me look around and see what other content I can get. I wanted to get other angles of the crowd.
This here's a shot of the flag that was all twisted up because it didn't look like what it did from the front, from where I was at, because I was kind of under it. This is as they were raising the flag back up after they straightened it. And everyone was cheering. After the fact, when they showed a picture of the flag and what it looked like, it gives me chills.
This is a big crowd. This is a big, big, beautiful crowd. I wish the fake news back there would show it. I wish they'd spin their cameras and show it because nobody would believe it. You know, the other day, Biden was saying,
For whatever reason that day, I decided to walk around and get content elsewhere. So I walked over to the fence line. That's when I actually saw the commotion going on across the way.
Look, they're all pointing.
The Atlantic, maybe the Pacific.
Yeah, someone's on top of the roof. Look. There he is right there. Right there, see him? He's laying down. See him?
Yeah, he's laying down.
Thank you, Trump! Thank you, Trump! Instead, I'm here with you fighting like hell to get
What's happening?
and to make sure we take back the White House, because if we do, we're going to make America better than ever before. We're going to make it.
Yeah, look.
And it's
There he
not
is.
easy, because we have millions and millions of people in our country that shouldn't be here. Dangerous people.
On top of the roof, over there.
We have criminals. We have drug dealers. We have people that should not be here.
Right on the roof.
It's much tougher than it happens.
Right on the roof.
And look what happened to our country. Probably 20 million people. And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart.
They're clearing the building right now. We've got one down on the roof.
One shot for him.
Very gripping take right there.
Get in the tent. They're moving him right now. Get in the tent.
How you doing, Wild Adventure? Welcome to the show. Lucifer, thank you for the $2 Canadian super chat. Thank you so much. Smash the like button if you love puppies. Thank you.
Yeah, I performed CPR after he got shot. Are you okay? Are you okay?
We're going to check on that. We're just going to let everybody else flow through.
I'm okay.
Keep going, guys. Please keep going.
The individual that got shot, he had a headshot right here.
He had a headshot.
Yeah, there's. I didn't notice that. I just had everybody pull him up, put him on a bench, and I did CPR on him.
But he got
And I
shot.
breathed for him. He got shot in the head, and he did not have any pulse.
Let's go.
He was without pulse or respiration. So the police picked him up and took him.
The police took him out. With
Yes, they did. With the medics, and they got him right in an ambulance right away.
They did.
And all I could do was CPR. I breathed for him.
What kind of doctor are you?
I'm a emergency department physician.
And your name, sir?
Sweetland, Dr. Sweetland. I'm from Du Bois.
Thank you for what you did today, regardless of the situation.
It's what I do. I think our democracy would be better if the candidates just spoke. I don't think we need-
Mr. Barry, give it to my wife. Mr. Barry, give that to my wife. She's in the red over there. You follow the Secret Service.
The last time that I took incoming fire was in 2011 in Afghanistan. The first shot that I heard, my ear recognized it, truth be told, but my brain would not allow me to digest the fact that that was even a possibility.
I knew pretty immediately it was a gun. All I remember is running through an open field with bullets coming from behind me, and I had no idea where they were going. I found the closest car next to me and got behind a car wheel.
It was just a very confusing moment. Where are the shots coming from? What do you do?
Selena was right next to you.
Yeah, she had ducked for cover. I just covered her and her daughter up and then started looking around to see where gunshots were coming from, if I could even tell.
Shocking what we just saw a few minutes ago. As you can see, we're behind the podium about 10 minutes later. You can see a pair of sunglasses. One side of them broken off. There's also a white rag on the ground. The podium is sideways. You can see there's a Diet Coke and another towel underneath it. The sign on the front tilted literally 15 feet away at the time.
How many shots did you guys hear? Like it was like 8 or 10 or?
It was a lot. It was more than 5.
I saw you guys. That's just, I don't
I'm
know.
going to say I've got Tucker Carlson's team here. You want to handle this by allowing them to. We're going to go back into OSA. All right, let's go right now.
So we were able to get out of that area after they turned it into an active crime scene, Shannon and Bill, and we were able to talk with some people who heard what we heard too, those several pops as they all took cover here.
We got down and we huddled and we just started praying. The lady in front of me that laid on top of me, she was crying. I said, it's going to be okay, honey. We just prayed. We prayed.
Again, panic. Everybody was shaking. It's a shame. Truly is a shame.
We're on our way out. Secret Service just said there's another threat. So we're trying to get a car with our gear. It's not safe, but it's in a safe area now. Another threat. Let's see what that means.
I was elected sheriff in 2009 and took office in January of 2010. I'm in my 38th year in law enforcement. I don't care what political party you're from. I'm going to do my job, uphold the Constitution and your rights. You know, the citizens of this county, especially those who are there, are still very upset that this happened in our town.
It was very terrifying. It was one of the worst experiences of my life. I've never had guns whizzing past me or near me like that. I'm so glad they weren't successful.
Are you surprised that somebody was able to make it that far with a scope, with that gun?
Of course, you're surprised. You know, you sit back and think it should have never happened. This is what the investigation is going to come up with, their recommendations and their conclusions at the end of the day. And, you know, whether it's a Secret Service or any law enforcement agency, you know, they're going to work much closer, I think, together than maybe they have. Nobody wants this to happen again.
I never really was into politics, but he's kind of made me take an interest in politics and our policies and the way things are going. He's a true patriot. I've loved the man ever since before he even became famous with the celebrity show that he had. I really feel that he's the best thing for our country that we've had in a long, long time. Honestly, since Ronald Reagan. I was young, but I remember it all. I know firsthand it's had an impact on me and my family. I'm trying to put a daughter through college, and I'm barely making ends meet. So we really need someone like Donald back in office. I'm begging.
You seem kind of emotional.
I am emotional because I love this man. I never met him personally, but I love the man.
We'd like President Trump to come back. We'd like to end on a positive note.
His visit back here to us in Butler County is going to be a part of the healing process for this community. It's going to be to honor Corey and his family. It's going to help elevate the name of Butler County out of the ugliness and the horror of July 13th. We're thankful for the president and his courage to come back and give us another chance to host him here. It's a great honor.
And we're also learning more about the man who was killed, 50-year-old former Buffalo Township volunteer fire chief Corey Comparator, who was said to be protecting his family when shots rang out.
Who dove on top of his family members to protect them when those shots started ringing out.
So this is a sad and tragic day. We lost a fellow Pennsylvanian.
He was the greatest American hero. He took a bullet for the president, protected his family. He's one of the greatest human beings I've ever met in my life. He will be greatly missed.
He was the glue to our family. He was our strength. He was everything to us.
He loved those girls more than anything on earth. They were his world.
He saved his wife. He saved his child. He was a great man that was a great father. He was a great husband.
He lost his life selflessly acting as a human shield to protect them from flying bullets. He went right over the top of them and was hit. What a fine man he was.
Corey loved his community. Corey died a hero.
He was just the best guy. He was just the best.
I first saw him when we left the hospital and got to the airport. We were all gathered around the TV watching what had just happened. There was no time to even process it. We're so on the go. We had the RNC in a couple days. There was no question in his mind. He was going to the RNC. Nothing was going to change about the schedule.
For the first time in 20 years, you've got the Republican Party fully behind one candidate and ready to send them to the White House.
It's not just about Republican unity this year, it's about national unity.
It's unbelievable how energetic people are.
His focus and his energy has risen. Donald Trump was centimeters away from almost not being with us, but he fights on.
We have this announcement at the Donald Trump Truth Social. After lengthy deliberation and thought, and considering the tremendous talents of many others, I have decided that the person best suited to assume the position of Vice President of the United States is Senator J.D. Vance of the great state of Ohio.
Madam Chair, it is a great honor to move that J.D. Vance be nominated for the office of Vice President of the United States of America.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye! For the ayes have it, and the motion is adopted.
J.D. Vance is young, he is brilliant. I think J.D. Vance showcases where the energy of our activists are.
My friends, tonight is a night of hope. A celebration of what America once was, and with God's grace, what it will soon be again.
A lot of crazy stuff happening right now. The reports about Biden getting out of the election, so we're going to see what happens.
There are people out there wondering whether he should stay in the race.
Nancy Pelosi reportedly told Biden that he cannot beat Trump.
Can Democrats force Biden out if he doesn't want to drop out of the race?
No, I don't think they can force him out. This is something that has to come from him.
It's not going to happen. That's the whole thing. It is a Washington fantasy. It's just not happening.
So I decided the best way forward is to pass the torch to a new generation. It's the best way to unite our nation. You know, there is a time and a place for long years of experience in public life. There's also a time and a place for new voices, fresh voices, yes, younger voices. And that time and place is now.
Well, I think culture is a reflection of our moment in our time.
For us at every moment in time, and certainly this one, to see the moment in time in which we exist and are present.
I can imagine what can be and be unburdened by what has been, you know?
It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day.
Do you have any plans to visit the border?
At some point, you know, we are going to the border. We've been to the border. So this whole thing about the border, we've been to the border. We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
I haven't been to Europe. And I don't understand the point that you're making.
Kamala, you're fired. Get out of here.
Politics was never something I liked. Business was my background, real estate, MBA. I was very much not interested in politics in California. I feel like you get the same kind of sort of politicians. But when I was sick, I started watching the Republican debates. He was my first exposure to politics, and I loved it. Like, this guy, you know, he gets it.
They were preparing her for death. Her name is Natalie Harp, and because of Right to Try, she's now living and I think doing phenomenally well. And somebody said she's here. Are you here, Natalie? Where's Natalie? Will you come up here, please?
I had cancer, and he saved my life. Signed that bill, and ever since he found out, he stayed in touch with me and made sure I was okay. This is my third year working for him. People realize around the world now what he brought to the country, to the world. There was peace, there was safety, there was security, and they miss it and they want it back. You have world leaders reaching out, and what they saw happen in Butler realized that kind of strength of character, that's the message you wanted to leave with your people, is you're never down, you just keep fighting.
The bigger miracle was that I was looking in the exact direction of the shooter.
There's no scientific, that's just, he always looks that way in that direction. No, it was not in the teleprompter. He went completely off script. He never shows the border chart that early. It's always at the end of the speech. There's no human explanation.
I said, bring down that sign on immigration. And it was literally about an eighth of a second where it would be good. And after that, it was going to be a disaster, no matter which way you were facing.
God saved his life. God intervened in that moment. God wants him alive.
You're in charge of putting the graphics up, right?
Yeah.
You put the graphic up on immigration.
Yeah.
You're probably the most famous graphics operator in America now. You realize that? You're the most important graphics operator in America now. Has that set in at all? Or?
Here she is.
Hi.
She saved my life.
I just hope that come November, Donald takes back over the country and puts us back on the right track.
When the president stood up in what I can only describe as a triumphant defiance and raises his hand, wrangles it from the Secret Service to show everybody in the crowd, I'm here and I'm alive and I'm not going to stop. He says, fight, fight, fight. It was a wake-up call to us. It was a call to action. It was be strong. Stand with me right now.
Like, as a true leader, he was like leading us.
I said, sir, I can't believe your first instinct was to fist pump the air. I mean, it was unbelievable.
It gives you goosebumps.
It truly showed strength under fire.
You know, he's a badass, right? Thought that was true Trump passion.
You know, your actions were inspiring. The president of the United States represents America. You were pumping your fist in there and saying, fight, fight, fight. And I think that is America. That is strength under fire.
Nice news from the legal front. The Supreme Court, they're going to accept our appeal.
Today's going to be a good day. One of the biggest rallies we've seen in a long time.
There's a lot about him that the media never sees.
How much he genuinely cares.
These are courageous people.
A lot of us have been with him since 2016.
The people that are really close to him are still with him.
He knows how important this election is.
2 former Democratic candidates have endorsed Donald J. Trump.
5 million likes in the first 30 minutes.
They will put Donald Trump in prison.
It's a dangerous job being president.
All right, guys. I hope you have enjoyed that. That was amazing, huh? Absolutely amazing. We didn't miss a thing at the rally. Just to make you know, I've been watching it on the side here, making sure that we didn't miss a damn thing. So I thought that was important to show before the rally, and I'm glad that all the timing worked out right. I love it when it comes together like that. Just to kind of let you know, there is what's going on right now. We didn't miss a thing. Let me just live it up here. There you go. JD Vance is coming on. Let's go. Perfect timing. Rock and roll.
What an amazing, amazing crowd. What an amazing day.
Memento.
And my friends, in 31 days, this state, starting with Butler, is going to turn red, and we're going to send Donald Trump back to the White House. I'm so proud on this historic day to welcome President Trump. I know he's en route right now. He should be here in about, I don't know, a half an hour or so. But it is this community has been so good to me and President Trump.
Suzanne, how you doing?
This community is so strong and so resilient. And my friends, we are so proud to stand here in Butler, Pennsylvania, ready to take back the White House, ready to take back this country. Now, 84 days ago, of course, on this very field, an assassin tried to fill our hearts with terror. But we're here to say we can't be intimidated. We cannot be stopped. We won't be denied. We will make America great again, and we're going to do it together. Now, my friends, I know you'll join me in saying we're going to remember July 13th, 2024 forever. Many of you were here, and it is a testament to your courage and your patriotism that you're here again today. Now, you heard the shots. You saw the blood. We all feared the worst. But you knew everything would be okay when President Trump raised his fist high in the air and shouted, "Fight, fight." Now, I believe, as sure as I'm standing here today, that what happened was a true miracle. And on that day, America felt the truth of Scripture. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. I truly believe that God saved President Trump's life that day. And I believe that God is with us right now and watches over this incredible nation every single day. Now, there are so many people here, so many people we're honored to have. It would be impossible to name all of them. I see the great Sean Parnell over here. Sean, you're a hero, man. You were here on that day. We're joined by many first responders, elected officials, and other distinguished guests. And as we gather on these grounds, once again, my friends, we especially thank God for the two great Americans who were wounded and survived in July. That's David Dutch and James Copenhaver. God bless you guys. Now we pray for their full and complete recoveries, and we're honored that David and his family were able to join us today. Let's give a round of applause to David. God bless you, and God bless your family.
Thank you, Shelly. Thank you, Talking Cash and Juice, for the 10 gifted memberships. That's 20 today. You're doing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
But
We'll
our hearts are heavy with sadness, knowing that there's one hero who's not here with us today, and that's, of course, the great Corey Compertori. We're never going to forget Corey. We're never going to forget his heroism that day. And I want everyone to join me right now in sending our support, our respect, our love to the Compertori family here with us today. We love you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for loving this country, and thank you for not giving up on it. Now, after the heartache of that day, our nation hoped to turn a page. We hoped that our opponents would remember that before we are Democrats or before we are Republicans, we are Americans. But sadly, our opponents have not heeded Abraham Lincoln's words and listened to the better angels of our nature. Even after that terrible assassination attempt that took one man's life and nearly took many others, they continue to use dangerous, inflammatory rhetoric. The media has continued to call Donald Trump, the guy who actually won his primary, a threat to democracy. A Democrat senator called Donald Trump an existential threat to our democracy. Kamala Harris said that he was attacking, quote, the foundations of our democracy. And I think you all will join me in saying to Kamala Harris, how dare you talk about threats to democracy? Donald Trump took a bullet for democracy. What the hell have you done? The truth is that Kamala Harris and her allies, they attack Donald Trump in order to silence us, we the people. They have declared war explicitly on the First Amendment to the United States Constitution. Kamala Harris proudly says she wants to censor the internet, and Tim Walz said there is no guarantee to free speech. What do we think about that? But we all know, my friends, we all know that censorship is only the first step. Just look at everything they've done to President Trump. First, they tried to silence him. When that didn't work, they tried to bankrupt him. When that didn't work, they tried to jail him. And with all the hatred they have spewed at President Trump, it was only a matter of time before somebody tried to kill him. And that's exactly what happened, not just here in Butler, Pennsylvania, but just a few weeks later in Florida. 3 weeks ago, while these guys still go out there and attacking him as a threat to democracy, another gunman armed with an AK-47 style rifle tried to finish the job. In fact, before the gunman in Florida tried to kill Donald Trump, he wrote, quote, democracy is on the ballot. The exact same words that Kamala Harris wrote after accusing Trump of being a dictator only days before the first attempt on his life. But for all of those watching at home, and for all those who might be undecided in this crowd, though there probably aren't that many undecided voters in this crowd, I want to say, you know what's so incredible? You know what's so incredible? It's how Donald Trump responded to all of this. Because despite being shot here in Butler, President Trump immediately called for national unity. And I'll never forget, my friends, what he told me after the second assassination attempt. It was probably the first person that he called that Sunday. And I was sitting at home with my son in Cincinnati, and he said, JD, they tried to do it again. I said, they tried to do what, sir? He said, they tried to shoot me again. And at first I was in disbelief. I think immediately my thoughts went to him and how he was doing. Of course, he was physically okay because he was calling me, but I said, sir, are you doing okay? And of course, President Trump, in his President Trump way, said, yeah, I'm doing fine. You know, I'm a little pissed off because I was about to make a dirt birdie on the 6th hole and they wouldn't let me finish.
That's great.
But it made me think. It made me think about the leadership qualities we want in a president of the United States. And so I'd like to ask you, who would you rather have facing down, Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping? Someone who is afraid of interviews with the friendly American media, or someone who faces down 2 assassins and returns triumphantly to the very place that he got shot? Now, some of you may have seen that I had a little debate with Governor Walz a few days ago. And I have to admit, I'm maybe the only person in Butler, Pennsylvania that feels that way, but I feel a little bad for Tim Walz, if I'm being honest with you. Because Tim Walz has to defend the indefensible. He has to act like Kamala is going to drive down inflation, bring up wages and bring back jobs and restore peace, the very peace that she destroyed. Well, I hate to break it to you, Tim, but everyone knows the truth. Kamala caused every single one of those problems because Kamala's day one in the White House was 1,400 days ago. Never let her lie to you and pretend that she's going to do something great. She's been in power for 3.5 years and she hasn't done a damn thing. And I hate to say it, but Kamala's record of failure is somehow only getting worse. Just a couple of days ago, I visited an area of our country ravaged by Hurricane Helene. The Appalachian region of Virginia, and we know the Appalachian region of this country has been left behind and ignored by a generation of American leaders. But what started out as a natural disaster is becoming a man-made disaster. When Appalachia was underwater, remember, President Biden was sitting on a beach and Kamala Harris was at a San Francisco fundraiser. That is not leadership. That is a disgrace. And now we're seeing reports that deployments of the military and the National Guard are moving at a snail's pace. My friends, who the hell is running this country right now? Because it sure isn't Joe Biden. It sure isn't Kamala Harris. The Harris administration has given billions of dollars to foreign countries and illegal aliens. But now they swoop in and they promise $750 to American citizens who have lost everything. To everybody watching, to everybody at this rally, I want to say, I promise you, when Donald J. Trump is back in the White House, we're going to have a president that puts America first. We're going to ensure that emergency funding goes to American citizens and not illegal aliens. We're going to create record prosperity with low inflation and rising take-home pay. We're going to secure that southern border, stop the drug trafficking, and send illegal aliens back home where they belong. We're going to drive down the cost of housing, drive down the cost of gas, drive down the cost of groceries, and we're going to clean up our streets to make America safe again. And whether we agree or disagree with you, we will always defend your God-given right to speak your mind without fear of censorship, violence, or persecution. But to everybody struggling, I want you to know that though our country has, yes, been through some hard times over these past few years, I want you to know that help is on the way. We have, think about this, the most generous people, the most abundant natural resources, including some great energy right here in the state of Pennsylvania. We've got the hardest workers. We've got the best values. All we need to restore American greatness is leadership that is fit to serve this country. So more than anything, I'd like all of us to leave this incredible community with a message of hope. Because I honestly believe that what happened right here in Butler is a metaphor for the United States of America. In this land, we may get knocked down, but we get right back up and we keep fighting, because in America, hope is never lost. We may face enemies who seek our demise, our destruction, and even our death. They may try to crush our spirits. They may try to convince us that victory is impossible, but in America, nothing is impossible. And as long as that flag yet waves, and I see it's doing it today, there is no trial we cannot endure, no obstacle we cannot overcome, and no defeat we cannot turn into victory. On this field, at this exact spot nearly 3 months ago, we thought President Trump was going to lose his life. But God still has a plan for him, just like he still has a plan for the United States of America. We, this movement, we have so much left to accomplish. And after the dark nights of trial, when the sun rises again, our flag is still going to be there, and nothing will stop the United States of America. So I want you all, I know he'll be out in just a little bit, but I want you all, when Donald Trump comes out here, to give him a true Butler, Pennsylvania welcome, because with Donald Trump as our leader, we are going to take this country back. We're going to make the American dream affordable again, and it's going to start right here in the great state of Pennsylvania. God bless you, Butler. Thank you for having me, and we are going to take this country back. I love you.
Yankee Redneck, how you doing, man? Right song there, so I'm gonna turn it down. Good to see you, man. How you been? So happy you're joining us today. Got a great crowd in the house. I'm so happy each and every one of you here. We're gonna have a great day. Historic event here. Elon Musk will be speaking later. I think maybe he'll be one of those Elon, come on up kind of guys. I don't know, and we'll see. I don't think he's gonna go on before. I mean, after for a speech like that after JD. You know, you kind of think of JD would be the warm-up band, not the opener, but the warm-up band, the one right before the headliner. Almost like a second headliner, huh? Yeah, a lot of JD fans out there now. He very well could be the president in 28. I'm still leaning towards Vivek. Oh, I like JD a lot. I think there's a certain element you have to have. Now, it could change in 4 years. I mean, I don't know if that would be the fastest turnaround I've ever seen, but I still think the corrupt establishment will be in its death throes at that point. And we still need to have a candidate that can support their own campaign. You know, that unfortunately it's the way it is right now. That was one of the magic ingredients Trump had, was the ability to fund his own campaign that separated him from Ron Paul. Ron Paul was genuinely pretty. I don't know if he was as popular. He was very popular. I mean, he was popular enough to beat Romney, and the neocons pulled some dirty tricks there to make sure that didn't happen. I was fighting for Ron Paul back in those days, and I know the dirty tricks they pulled. A lot of dirty tricks. They had the media on their side, which Ron would call out, but he wouldn't fight him as hard as Trump did. Trump campaigned against it, so he was treated very unfairly. But we learned a lot from those Ron Paul days, and what we learned helped the Trump days be realized. And the other things that Trump brought to the table were key, you know. And I think that I'm still leaning Vivek for 28, but I do like JD Vance, and I would like to see JD Vance be president one day. I think another person talking about running one day is Brandon Tatum. I wouldn't mind seeing Brandon Tatum. He has to learn a few things. He needs to go to work in politics for a while and learn some stuff about what the inner workings and make some friends there. But he might make a great president one day too. Way down the road. We can line up like 3 or 4 good candidates. The neocons they'll be forgotten. You know, they'll never get back in. Now, believe me, Liz Cheney is the new face of the neocon movement now. Is definitely has designs. They haven't forgotten. They're still licking their wounds, and even though they're back on the left where they belong, they don't ever count them out. That don't ever think that they're gonna just walk away. They may start their own party. They'll be dirty again. This is the party that this is the group of the Bushes, the Karl Roves, the Dick Cheneys, and all those other nasty neocons, that rhinos that were playing the heel in the seat of Republicans as Republicans, you know, for the false left-right paradigm, which was a real thing, and yeah, they're crying right now, but where are they? They're over there supporting Kamala, you know, proving us right after all those years of calling it out that this was the illusion of choice between those neocons and the establishment left Democrats. But now they're just to the establishment. We used to call it establishment left and establishment right, and then the Ron Paul revolution, the Liberty faction is what we would call it. And that's the history of it. But think about this. Imagine this. In fact, let me just pull up. We'll be right back. I've got an eye on that, so don't worry. We're not going to miss a damn thing. I promise you. But let me pull up a short little piece I put out on X. That a little bit bigger. Not just a couple of days ago. This is hilarious. It's only a couple of seconds. Let me just pull this up here real quick, and it'll say it even better than I can. Right here. Imagine saying no to RFK Jr. and yes to Liz Cheney. Oh, man.
Just another example of the terrible decision-making of the Kamala campaign. Just absolutely terrible decision-making. She cannot make good decisions to save her life, right? She just can't. I mean, imagine saying no to RFK, but yes to Liz Cheney. And look at the result. It's just another example of the terrible decision-making of the...
There we go. Back to the rally. That was open twice? Oh, no, I don't. Okay. Sorry, guys. There we go. These guys are just talking right now. You're not missing a thing. All right. I only say Vivek should work out because he's such a little dude. We need a physically imposing president. That's a good point, I guess. I'm just worried about the money thing. You know, I really am. It takes a lot of money to run, you know, and what we don't want is him having any kind of needing to get money from any donors, mega donors, you know. And unless that mega donor is Trump and Trump takes care of him all the way through, then I'm good with it. I think Vivek, at least at that point, should be the VP. At least at the VP. We need to get him up there. Vivek has what it takes. He knows what's going on. And even more so, I got some great examples of are they saying anything?
Somebody here does a really good impression. I'm just
Oh, okay. They're not saying anything. He was on stage debating John Bolton, a neocon, the other day, and just talking about geopolitical issues and just nailing every point across the board. So I have yet to see JD take on those kind of that kind of engagement. I haven't seen how he could handle the big geopolitical stage, and Vivek seems to already have a handle on it. So I'll we have a long time to talk about that. We have a long time. Hopefully we have 4 years to talk about that, and not 4 years about what the hell are we going to do. Our country's getting ready to be collapsed into some kind of weird technocracy, beholden to the UN, and we don't want that. We don't want that. They're working on it, though. They're working on it. I still owe you guys a show on what came out of the recent UN General Assembly and their summit for the future. Still working on putting that together. It'll happen eventually. But we need to understand that they are in full swing. They're implementing every day. It's not something that's going to happen. It's something that's happening. And after we get through November, hopefully coming out on top, we have to turn our focus to those issues. Let me see. It's coming on here.
By the way, on that note,
Yep, they're still just chilling. Still just chilling. I'll keep them way low in the background. Way low. They're not saying much. So I'm going to talk instead and talk to you guys. What's going on out there? You guys enjoying it? For those who were here earlier and got to see the Art of the Surge episode that I aired, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Very, very good stuff, isn't it? Very powerful. It's done in a very professional, exquisite way. They got some, we saw a lot of unseen footage, especially from July 13th. It's amazing that we're back in Butler, PA. I don't think that we'd see anybody else that was run would come back and do this. Donald Trump is one of a kind. Let me see. If Vivek and JD ran together, they could technically have 4 terms between the two of them. Yeah, with one running as the other's VP and then swapping places. So 2 terms. Well, yeah, it's kind of like once you're president, you don't want to be vice president. Oh man, yeah, it was great. So you could catch it on the rewatch, man. It's like 30 minutes. And I just let it play. I just go down and then I sneak down the corner like this, like that, and I just let it play. So it's worth it, man. So check it out on the rewatch. You don't want to miss what's coming up next. How much time we got? We got like I think 8 minutes till the president will make his triumphant return to the stage of Butler, Pennsylvania. And we're expected to also hear from Elon Musk during this speech. Like he will be coming out and saying a few words, probably like maybe in the style of what JFK Jr. did. I'm imagining that's the case. Now I'm looking around and I'm trying to tell from the setup here what's different. Is there anything different? Is this the exact same setup? I have yet to kind of figure that out. Have you guys noticed? Yeah, Trump's usually a little late. Hey, you got to make him wait. You got to make him wait. You got to make him wait. In the first episode of Art of the Surge, which I'm happy to play for you guys at another day, maybe I can make that part of a Winning 2024 upcoming episode. And I'll play that for you too. It shows him like, behind the stage before he goes out, talking to people that are back there, he's waiting. Brought back memories of, when I was a musician waiting to go out on stage and stuff, just hanging on side stage. In fact, I spent so many years on the side stage, I thought I'd never be back in the crowd. That's how used to the side stage I was. In fact, it took me a long time to ever be comfortable not being on side stage. It really did. Or backstage. Like going back out in the crowd was weird to me. Seeing a show from that perspective was weird to me. It became weird because I was just so used to doing it the other way. But luckily those days are behind me, and now I can enjoy it like everybody else does. So you got a nice little ramp there. He's coming out. I guess they come out from there. Does it seem different to you guys? Does it seem like they turned things around, or maybe hold on, you guys need to look at this, don't you? That might help if you can see it, right? Does it look a little different to you? I don't remember if there was a ramp there last time or not. And I'm just wondering. It's hard to tell from this angle. It really is.
I think that's the greatest contrast in the last 8 years has been the 4 years of the Trump.
Yeah, that's what we want. We really want to have back to back to back. We need a good generation. Okay, we need a good generation to fix things, and that's what we're looking at in terms of length of time, right? We need 15, 15 years, 20 years of, they've had 16 years, and look at how bad things have gotten. Well, in the last 16 years, they've had 12 years. Now think about that. That's the age that someone's born and becomes is up to 12 years. But really, you're in terms of turning things around on a generational level, we need from one someone a full length, like we need about 18 years, right? 16 to 18 years to really turn things around. For it to be one generation is like about 15 years, right? So about 15 years. So that's about 16 years solid. So 2 back-to-back terms. So it's JD, we've got Trump, and we can get a JD or Vivek back-to-back, and then JD or Vivek back-to-back. That would be an amazing run of time, and with some very based, very America first presidents taking care of our country. And it's up to us to hold off the evil. It's up to us to do the work, the groundwork, right? Taking our schools back, taking education back, taking our culture back. That's on us. They can only do so much for us. We still have to do our parts. But we'll learn as we go. Right now, look at, they're doing the wave. They're doing the wave. Right now, we're on track. We're on track. This is, 10 years ago, we weren't here. We were just trying to figure out how to kick the door into the GOP and kick the neocons out. That's what we were trying to figure out to do. That was step one. And the fact that we got step one done is amazing. Let me celebrate a few super chats. I didn't get to celebrate the last time. Here we go.
Oh
Lucifer, thank you for the 2 super chats today, man. $2 Canadian, $2 Canadian, $4 Canadian. Easy times make for weak men make hard times. That's true. We can't let that repeat itself. And that's generational fixes that I talk about on the channel all the time here. It's a generational fix because the evil powers that be, they fight a generational war. They're always going after the youngest generation. They are indoctrinating the youngest generation and skewing them, demoralizing them, subverting them so they can later use them to destabilize things and bring things to crisis. And that's the repeating pattern that we're seeing, right? This is what I've done over the last 2 decades, is try to figure out what the root cause issues are going on and how we can implement root cause solutions. They think 2 generations ahead, 3 generations ahead. We have to combat that by putting up the correct preventative measures early on, so that their subversion doesn't work. Yet we still have freedom of speech. We still have all the rights that we enjoy here, and that makes America great. And that's what solution culture is about. That's one of the pillars of this channel and what I'm doing and the work that I put together. That and trying to pull people out of information-based mind control, grifts, and propaganda. That's that. If I had to describe my channel, that's what I do, right? And everything that I do, is about that in one form or another. This right here, mission critical. The task in front of us, we must take our country back, because if we cannot remove the corruption, we'll never have a fair chance. The game will stay rigged. We have to unrig the game so we can be winning reality. Right now, they're taking our reality away from us. They're turning it into what they want. We want a winning reality. That's why we're here. I'm just an idea, a great idea. One you should subscribe to. Make sure you ring the bell, because they like to shadow ban great ideas. And hit the thumbs up, show your support that you're part of solution culture and you're a winner too. Winning reality. So you honestly believe that we can right the ship? I just don't know about that anymore. I hate being negative. No, I actually do. I just don't think it's going to be. It's not going to be like turning on a switch, right? I think what you and I and everybody here, we're going to be old. We're going to be old and older. We're going to be very, very old by the time we really see the things turn around completely. It's going to take generations. It's a generational fix. I have no illusions about that. But the generational fix starts today. It starts with taking back our government and removing the corruption and the rot and the corrosion that's been caused by years and years and decades of neglect and letting the wrong people being charged, right? We now have the technology, we now have the community, we now have the leadership to do this, and it's something we didn't have in the past. You know, most of us, Yankee, me and you, and Shelly and Wolfram and all of us, we were, you know, everybody here was, you know, up until 2016, we were born into this false left right paradigm, you know, where the neocon rhinos posed as Republicans, and no matter who changed parties, be it the Democrats or the Republicans, there was never, and nothing ever changed. The agenda always moved forward, right? You remember Bush ran on destroying, taking NAFTA down. Did that ever go away? Obama ran on, you know, taking the Patriot Act down. Did that go away? I mean, the war, he went on anti-war. He made more wars. You see, they lie to us. They play a game like it's like wrestling. It's kayfabe. It's a false left right paradigm. And Trump, Ron Paul started the initiative to take the Republican Party back from the neocons. He made a famous speech called Neocon, right? He woke up a generation. He reintroduced the philosophy of liberty to so many people. Many of those people that are out there in that crowd right now, many of the people that are here, and I think we can do it. We have to fight. We have to fight against the root cause issues. I have to be optimistic, though. I can't. I have kids. You know, I can't think that, you know, his future is going to be bleak. I can't rest comfortably even thinking we don't have a chance. You know, that would just drive me crazy. What would I be doing with what am I doing if I'm not trying to make a better future for him and his future children, right? So I owe it to my son, to my family, to everybody to be in this fight from beginning to end. And it'll be the rest of my life trying to from one battle to the next to get it done. But at least I understand what I'm up against, and I'm not trying to fight a ghost or fight something that's not really there. So, you know, the best I can do is do the good work as best I can. But yeah, I believe that there are generational fixes that can be implemented. It starts with being able to protect children and innocence and stop the corruption, stop generations of corruption from being manufactured, right? Because if there weren't corrupt, demoralized people out there in bulk, right, to do these horrific things, to make crime relative, and to make and to grow up and get into positions of power and influence and into the bureaucracy, and then, you know, be easily swayed to do the wrong thing, and then be locked into a false narrative by an establishment media that is corrupt and evil itself, right? Subversion, right? To eliminate and minimize the subversion in our country would do great good for the future. So these are the things I fight for. You know, I gotta believe that I can. I gotta believe. Nah, you're not crazy, man. Man, everybody is maybe we need a little more crazy. I'm just saying. Well, I think Trump's kind of helping with that a little bit, right? I hear you, man. I know I want to activate, and you know, I want things now. I want to get done now. And I can see in the past people have, you know, wars have happened, and I'm not saying that, you know, part of this process won't be some kind of battle like that, you know. But are we going to be ready for it? What are we going to do? What's it going to look like if we don't do something about the southern border right now, and we don't have a successful deportation effort, mass deportation effort? We might get that crazy that you're talking about. Tim Pool has been talking about civil war for, you know, years now. And I'm saying that, you know, if we don't stop the southern border invasion and have a successful deportation effort, right, then he may get that civil war. It's just not the one he's looking for. You know, I think it's going to be an internal battle in some way, shape, or form. Really, the civil war we need to have, the soft civil war, cultural civil war, is against the cultural Marxist. The cultural Marxism is a demon. It works in the energy of evil, and that infects people's minds and activates them to become part of that evil. And their efforts and their energies go towards that evil. They're the ones subverting the country. They're the ones subverting the kids. They're doing all the work. and they're doing all the work, right? And we can't allow it. We can't allow critical theory to be taught in our schools and our universities. We can't allow people who practice it to have influence over others. We have to be talking and calling it out on a mass level. We have to educate kids early to resist these ideas. Like if we can put 2-3 generations out that resist cultural Marxism, that can identify it, call it out, and resist it, that understand true logic, right? Understand false premises and fallacies, and can call them out, they'll be powerless because all they can do is that. All they can do is that. When they can't divide us anymore, right? When they can't isolate us anymore, when they can't turn people against each other and implement their made up words, their made up phrases, when they have no impact, they're powerless. That's the way they rig the game. And this is the way we unrig it. I wish I was still an option of a Green Dragon Tavern, if you catch my drift. GDT. I wish there was still an option of a Green Dragon Tavern. Not quite. Not quite. I'll look up what that means, though. I'll look at what that means. Crazy isn't always bad. No, it's not. You got to be a little crazy to be out here fighting this powerful, corrupt establishment, man. You got to be a little crazy to do it, or just willing and able to throw your body on the gears of this corrupt machine, for the betterment of the future. They talk about the greater good. I talk about the betterment of the future, right? That's what I talk about. And with a better future, we don't have to really sacrifice for the greater good. The greater good is happening. We're making the greater good happen. Modern civil wars are fought in your homes and neighborhoods. You are right about the need for mass deportation. Yeah, I agree, Memento. I've been saying this since day one too, that we can't leave it all up to politicians, right? Otherwise, we just go back to sleep eventually. I think I try to think down the road. I really try to think down the road. Like, that's one thing I got. That's why I go out there and I put myself in uncomfortable spots sometimes against what I would consider my own side, and trying to call out, conspiracy groups and refocusing our energy on things that we can actually control and actually know that are true, right? So many people waste energy talking about things they can't prove, and they know they haven't researched, and they're taking the word of somebody else on, and I could go down a list of these things. In fact, I went out there and had a few conversations last night. And I'm not, the point is that I don't want us to become the establishment media. I don't want us to just win this battle and then have it reversed, because that's what they want to have happen. That's what they will do. If they lose, they're just going to say, well, we're just going to reverse it generationally again. We got all the many resources, and they'll just go back to sleep. They always do. And then in a few more generations, we'll be back on top, and we'll learn from this, and we won't do it again. Right? They'll never stop. Evil never stops. We always have to keep it at bay. And liberty and freedom, and the cost of that is eternal vigilance to maintain it. So, yeah, we need crazy. We need dedicated. Some people would say I'm crazy for the amount of hours I've spent doing this. In fact, when I first started, many people did. As I was trudging through the rabbit holes and giving new ideas a chance, and saying that the old ideas, the old corrupt establishment was the corrupt media was lying to people. They thought I was crazy when I was supporting this Republican named Ron Paul. People around me thought I was crazy. When I was talking about globalism, people thought I was crazy. On and on and on and on and on. And I lost many lost friends along the way, although they're still friends in our hearts. The days of hanging out together and those youthful experiences together are far gone, and now I have a bigger cause and a bigger thing in my life, right? And that's what's important. And so, good times, they were had, but now the hard work must begin, because it was the good times that made us take our eye off the ball and not see the con that was being played on us. See, this morning I saw that 85-year-old rat Jane Fonda is dumping money into really low-level lefty candidates all over the place. Yep, that's how they do it, man. That's how they do it. The funding, right? These people like that, the ideas, we need to be able to call them out. And we need the youth to be able to call them out. That's what I'm saying, generational fix. Like, so many people now have been corrupted beyond belief, that they've been subverted beyond belief, that it's hard to win them back, right? But you know, and some of them maybe are, you know, moments of clarity occur. I was talking about moments of clarity. Like for a lot of us, 9/11 was a moment of clarity. Katrina was a moment of clarity. I was talking about the parallels between Katrina and Helena, right? And how when Katrina happened, Bush was in office, and you know, New Orleans was devastated. You know, people thought they did it on purpose. You know, I predicted before this hurricane even broke land. I said two things are going to happen as soon as it hits. You're going to have one group on the left that are the climate hoaxers. They're bought into climate change. They're going to run out and say, it's climate change. It's climate change. It's climate change. And then you have this other group on the right or outside the establishment. Actually, let me say it like this. The establishment and then the anti-establishment. They're going to have a group out there that's going around and say, weather weapons, weather weapons, weather weapons. I was like, dude, and you know, I was like, I predicted it before it hit land, before people had any evidence of anything, right? And because I've seen it over and over again. Katrina is another example of that. It was the same thing, only they called it global warming back then. But the FEMA was seemingly, at least from the outside, what it looked like, wasn't doing their job. They wouldn't get enough money or support. And that was like, you know, that was on Bush, right? So that fueled up their side to hate Bush even more, even though Bush is helping them out right now and voting with their side again. So now he's a hero, I guess. But you know, Helena is going to be a moment of clarity for a lot of people because of what's happened in North Carolina and the response to FEMA and the response from the establishment. Now it's on them. I've been calling it God's October surprise, and it's sad because so many people lost their lives in that and so much destruction. But it is a moment of clarity for people. It's called like a shock doctrine, right? It's called mass shock trauma. And so this mass shock that happens, right, can glitch out the mind control, can glitch out the subversion. It can glitch out the narrative. And so I'm hoping that coming out of this, that a lot of people will wake up, you know, here at the last minute and be like, what? There's no way I can support a candidate like Kamala who thinks $750 is a good idea for victims, but at the same time send money overseas and fuel the illegal invaders, people who come here and the first thing to do is break the law. Yeah. And the Green Dagger Tavern was our revolutionary founders. Oh yeah, there you go. Got together and planned in secret. We don't have a way to organize, get together and talk with the government knowing. Yep, that's true. We got to fight. They're the ones who do everything in secret, right? They're the ones who do that. And I have a saying that so we can't become what you fight. You can't become what you fight. You gotta do better. You gotta overcome and resist. And so I think that's been maybe some of the problems in the past. Is that they had a different set of circumstances because they literally had a monarchy with soldiers on the ground around them, right? We're in a free country, and I think that there are people that are putting together good ideas, and I think if we want to have green taverns, we need to have green taverns about how we're going to take back our communities and our schools, and how we're going to protect the youngest generation, how we're going to get back to a more morally based society without becoming fundamentally outrageous. You know, that's the other thing we have to guard against too in the future, is we don't want to go too far, right? We want to be able to meet in the middle. And I think that's why Vivek saying is true. National identity, being people together, realizing that we have more in common than we do different, and having open conversations without fear. You know, these are things that Vivek's been saying a lot lately. He just put out a new book called Truths, which I have bought. I've purchased it. I plan on listening to it in my free time, whenever that is. I don't want to show it on Unrig the Game yet because it's so new. I want Vivek to have time to make to get out there for people to buy the hard copy or the digital copy themselves before I put it on for analysis and whatever. I don't really analyze the books too much, but I do get excited about what's in them. We're reading Big Intel by J. Michael Waller on Unrig the Game every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, and I am so excited about that book. I've actually put some clips out from that book. Did I actually put? Yeah, I did. I put out one short from that book. In fact, I think we have a second here. If I can, I'll go back to that if something happens. But let me just try to pull that short up real quick just to get people excited about this book. I really want people to read this book with us. What we do is we meet here on YouTube we're on all three. But what we do is we come. Okay, hold on. I got to get my own videos first. There we go. We meet here and we talk for about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. And then we, okay, fine. Let's go here. And then we go over to Rumble and X exclusively, where we can read the book without being copyrighted and stopped and all that nasty stuff. Let's see, right here. Okay, let's go here, and then let's go here and stop. We're not missing anything, I promise you. He's not on stage yet. Don't you worry about it. I just want you guys to get this little sample from Unrig the Game from Big Intel. Whoops.
Marx's goal was not to improve, but to destroy family, human relationships, economics, patriotism, loyalty, morals, religion, Western civilization, destruction of the entire human existence. In Marx's words, thus the criticism of heaven is transformed into a criticism of earth, the criticism of religion into the criticism of law, and the criticism of theology into the criticism of politics, denigrating Western civilization and culture. That irreconcilable cultural warfare approach would become known as cultural Marxism. Adherents called its philosophical basis, the logical trains of thought that would lead people to accept and pursue cultural Marxist conclusions, critical theory. As opposed to the later Marx, the cultural Marxist originalists would tear apart societies not by economic class and the hard currency of capital, but by religion, law, race, family, tradition, knowledge, patriotism, and beliefs. Marx's goal was not to...
That's it. Let me go back to the this is a short sample of what we're doing over there on Unrig the Game every Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern. We're going right back to the rally. Trump, we're not missing a thing. I promise you that. Okay, here we go. As you can see, nothing missed. So yeah, if you guys like audiobooks, man, I don't think we read enough books these days. I don't know about you. I know I don't. So I've now read, this is the 4th book, and I'm so excited that this crowd and myself are all reading these books together. Control Oligarchs was an amazing book. It'll catch you up on the globalist efforts and who the players are and what's going on with the WEF and all that, and the UN Agenda 2030, the monster waiting at the gate that already has its tentacles into our country. It's already trying to transform our country into their hellish technocracy, globalist utopia for them, not us. Where you'll own nothing and be happy. And your kids will have a dull jury future of servitude. Yeah, we don't want that. Yeah, they wear the mask of virtue and altruism, but it's just a mask. Just a mask. What's going on? Outpost Nerd, how you doing? When did you sneak in here? There he is. Let me just say hello to Outpost Nerd. How you doing, buddy? All right. Great. We're having a great conversation right now. Unfortunately, I gotta run, guys. The wife needs me for something, probably a pickle jar or something. Stay cool. Hey, man, I hope you come back, man. I hope to see you around more often, Yankee. Take care, and we'll talk to you soon. All right. Well, I got great ideas flying out here in the crowd. What's going on, everybody? Let's get some chit chat going. We're coming up here really soon on President Trump, as always, fashionably late. That's okay. He can do what he needs to do. This is the thing. Is I bet when he walks back there, he stops and he talks to people, and he gives them time. He gives them time. He's like, yeah, they're here. We'll go out there. It'll be fine, right? And it's not that he's okay with being late. He didn't have a set time to start. It's around 5, but he wants to give people time. He realizes that probably a lot of conversations he has with people, that's probably the conversation he's going to have with them. Most of the time, that's kind of the rock star thing, man. Like, honestly, when you're really good and you're out there and you're very popular as a musician and you're going from place to place, a lot of people want to meet you. A lot of people want to talk to you. And you don't have time, but they're people who love what you do, and they're showing up and spending money and time and energy to listen to what you're doing, to care about what you're doing, to promote and push up and what you're doing. They're without the crowd, there is no show. I've been saying that forever since it started. That's why you guys, it's so important. I'm always willing to stop and have a conversation with any of you as best I can. But for rock stars, and for big people like, popular people like Trump, a lot of times that they'll see that person and that'll be the last time they ever interact. But they want to, it's a way of saying thank you and giving respect to them for all that they do for you. And believe me, if you're really true about what you're doing, you're really truly humble and a good person, you recognize that it's all these people out here that make it happen. It's all these people out here that make it happen, no matter who they are, where they come from, what age they are, what race they are, what sex they are, what all that all that stuff that doesn't matter. The individual people out here, each one of them make it happen, right? They all make it happen. They all took the time out today to come here hours ahead of time to wait in line, to come stand and wait and stand and wait, but that's okay. They're having a good time. They want to be there, right? To make it happen. All these people are going to go vote to make it happen. They each and every one of them deserve respect, including the ones that are out here in this crowd. So Trump, I'm sure, takes time to give people, as much time as he can spare to actually truly engage in with them in this moment. So that's the stories you hear about from people. That's what you hear about Trump from people. That when you're talking to him, you feel like you're the center of, you're like in the center of the universe or something, right? Like he makes you feel like he's right there with you, like he really cares about you, and which is true, right? Because he does in his heart. But he makes you feel like you have his undivided attention. That's what I'm trying to say. T-Rex has been cleaning out his truck. He spilled a whole bottle of coffee creamer in his fridge a few weeks ago and didn't have time to get it till today. Wow, you've been busy.
And yet I feel safe, I feel protected, and I love how organized and
let's see. Did I miss anything back in the back here? Let's see. Back chats. What's everybody doing out there? How's your Saturday going? Thank you guys for being here on this Saturday evening at 5:21 in the PM on the East Coast. I do appreciate you doing that. Look, they're showing that flag right there. Tens of thousands on hand. Like this rally is off the hook. The establishment, the corrupt establishment that driving, and the Kamala Harris campaign, and the kneelers to the establishment are out there putting out their toxic X posts saying that people are paid to be at the Trump rallies and they leave 10 minutes after he starts talking. Oh, I think I hear some music. It's probably music we can't play, but somebody's coming out. It's this guy. I don't know who he is. He's going to introduce Trump though, so we're going to listen as soon as the music stops. Let me just get back to my listening position here.
Hey, welcome everybody. My name is John Paulson, and like you, I'm proud to be.
His name is John Paulson.
A proud supporter of President Trump.
His name is John Paulson. His name is
when
John
he
Paulson.
is elected president, he will deliver the greatest economic boom to America than we've ever seen. We'll see growth. In our energy sector, we become a manufacturing powerhouse. We'll see growth in real wages, which will benefit all Americans. It's great to see so many people here. Thank you. God bless.
Okay, cool. So we know he's going to play the copyrighted song when he comes out. That was John Paulson. His name was John Paulson. His name was John Paulson.
Ladies and gentlemen, please
Here we go.
welcome to the stage American investor and founder of the Witkoff
Elon.
Group, Mr. Steve Witkoff.
Nope, Steve Whitcomb. My bad. Okay. Wait, hold on. He was already out there. How's he back? Wasn't this guy out there earlier?
Oh, I wish I was in a land of cotton. Old times are not forgotten.
Okay, we are live. Don't worry.
Wow.
No, a different guy.
Wow.
All right.
I wish my mom was here. First, I have some prepared remarks, but I would like to extend my blessings to the Dutch and Copenhagen family, and also to the Corey Compatore family. My heart is with you. This is a beautiful, beautiful town. I was marveling at the beauty. Patriots of Butler, Pennsylvania, it is my honor and my blessing to stand before you today. I'm not just here as a speaker, but I am a dear friend of the president and someone who has had the privilege of knowing President Trump personally, witnessing his strength and commitment to our nation. You know President Trump as a man who never backs down. I've been at his side through some of the toughest moments, and I can tell you, he embodies the leadership we need in these times for our nation. I was 10 feet away from him during the second assassination attempt. Amidst the chaos, President Trump stood tall. He didn't flinch or complain, not one bit. He chose strength, not for himself, but for us, for me that day, his friends, his staff, and for every American who believes in this country. That's who Donald Trump, my dear friend, is. He's a fighter, the toughest fighter I know, who refuses to be broken or beaten. He faces adversity head on and says, "Bring it on." At the Republican National Convention where I spoke, I shared a side of the president many do not have the luxury of seeing: his empathy. While the media paints him as tough, they don't show how deeply he cares.
I'm going to switch to Trump's channel.
He feels the burden of every challenge this country faces and understands the struggles of everyday Americans. I'll never forget when he reached out to me after I lost my son, Andrew. He wasn't just the president. He was a friend, offering comfort and ensuring we weren't alone. That's the kind of leader he is, the kind we need more than now than ever, the kind who came here today, even though he lost his own life on this very stage, but he was not going to be deterred. Today, we stand at a pivotal moment. In the wake of the Iranian attack, our nation stands at a crossroads. The world watches to see who will step up to lead us. We need a leader who understands the gravity of this moment, who embodies strength in action, not just in words. President Donald Trump is that leader. My friend has stood up to tyrants and bullies, making tough decisions and always putting this country first, even when it wasn't an easy choice. That's why we need him more now than ever. This isn't about politics. It is about the soul of our country. It is about choosing strength over weakness, vision over indecision, and leadership over chaos. We are living in a time that demands greatness. As Abraham Lincoln once said, you cannot escape the responsibility of tomorrow by evading it today. President Trump understands that. He is the most consequential president in the history of this country. He knows that leading this nation is about taking responsibility for our future, ensuring our children and grandchildren inherit a country that is safe, prosperous, and free. Behind the headlines and the political battles is a man who wants to see America thrive. He believes in every fiber of his being that this country is still the greatest nation on earth and that her best days are yet to come. So as we face this pivotal moment in history, ask yourselves, who do you want leading this country when the enemies of freedom threaten our way of life? Do you want someone who bows to pressure because this man doesn't? Or someone who stands up, fights back, and says, no matter what you throw at me, I will not break. I will not waver. I will not back down. That is Donald J. Trump. He has the courage to face today's challenges and the vision to build a brighter tomorrow. The pathway to peace, prosperity, and strength isn't found in weakness or hesitation. It's found in unwavering resolve. It's found in a leader who refuses to let America be pushed around or let our enemies dictate our future. So Butler, Pennsylvania, this beautiful town, I ask you to stand with me. Stand with President Trump and stand for the future of this incredible country. Together, we will overcome every obstacle and make sure America's best days are still ahead. Thank you. God bless you all. God bless President Trump and his family, and God bless the United States of America.
All right. It's like Elvis or something playing. That's all I said was dun, dun. Wish I was in a land of cotton.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Eric Trump and RNC co-chair Lara Trump.
Eric Trump and Lara Trump coming up. All right, there's all kinds of like big old introductions here. Exciting times. Kids, bring the kids out. Hopefully, that they don't hear that underneath music going on. Let us talk over it. Don't worry, it's coming up soon. Trump will be speaking here very soon. More introductions to go. Let's go. Guys, stick around, man. You've been here this long. Let's watch this whole thing together.
Pennsylvania.
Thank you to Alan Beamer for becoming a follower over on Rumble.
Pennsylvania,
Alan.
I've never
Welcome.
been more proud to be anywhere in my life than I am today here with you on this stage. This is a big family. They tried to take away someone we all love, and they did take away someone we love in Corey. An incredible man. His family's backstage. It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. They've tried to get my father every single second since he went down that golden escalator. Laura and I have witnessed it every single day. They tried to smear us. They tried to bankrupt us. They came after us. They impeached him twice. They went after his Supreme Court justices. They weaponized the entire legal system. the Russia hoax, the dirty dossiers. You remember every single one of them. Far left AGs, far left DAs in every far left place in this country went after my father. They tried to pull him off the ballot in Colorado. They tried to pull him off the ballot in Maine. And it has not worked. And then, guys, they tried to kill him. They tried to kill him. And it's because the Democratic Party, they can't do anything right. They can't do anything right. You see it this week in the FEMA response in North Carolina, and in Georgia, and in South Carolina, and in Florida. You have people's houses floating down rivers. And what does Kamala do? She comes out and says, yes, I'd like to give that family $750. We send $200 billion over to Ukraine so beautiful young kids can shoot at each other in trenches. $200 billion. We give hundreds of billions of dollars to Pakistan. They wouldn't tell us that bin Laden was literally a mile away from their equivalent of West Point. We send hundreds of billions of dollars to them. We gave $150 billion to Iran, a country that chants death to America. And Kamala Harris comes out and says, we're going to give $750 to the person who lost their house in a mudslide. Guys, this isn't America first. This is America last. But the good news, help is on the way. And help is on the way from the bravest person I have ever met in my entire life. My father's been the greatest father a person could ever have. He's been an inspiration to this entire country. And he was an inspiration here in Butler when he stood up with blood running down his face and said, fight, fight, fight. I love all of you so much. I really mean it. This is a family. This isn't politics, guys. Guys, this isn't politics. This isn't politics. This is a movement of absolute love of hundreds of millions of people who want to save the United States, who want to keep our country number one at absolutely everything we do. And that's why we're going to re-elect Donald Trump as the 47th president of the United States. Guys, we love you. And to a woman that is doing a truly great job in every aspect of life, from being a great wife to an unbelievable mother. By the way, I think Caroline and Luke Trump are the most popular Trumps right now. Did you guys see them a couple weeks ago? Vote for Grandpa. Make America great again. But she's doing a hell of a job as the RNC co-chair. You know, I get to go to bed every single night and wake up every single morning listening about voter integrity. It's really great. I'm really, really excited for November 6th when Laura can turn over in the morning and not talk about voter integrity. But she's doing a hell of a job. Ladies and gentlemen, Laura Trump.
All right, Pennsylvania. Is anybody here ready to send Donald J. Trump back to the White House? Well, we're 31 days away. 1 month from right now, as Donald Trump always says, will be the most important day in the history of America, because this is a pivotal moment for our country. And I don't even have to tell anybody that here. We can all feel it. This is no longer a fight between Republican versus Democrat, left versus right. It is good versus evil. And good is going to win this battle, ladies and gentlemen. And if you had any question whether God exists and he performs miracles, we got our answer here on July 13th, right here in Butler, Pennsylvania. He spared Donald Trump's life because he was not finished with Donald Trump. And he did it not once, but twice. And I've said it time and time again, but now you feel it more than ever. Donald Trump was made for such a time as this.
Indeed.
It's such an honor to be back here in Butler. And you know, I knew before Donald Trump even said he wanted to come back here, that he would come back to Butler, Pennsylvania, because in life, you can operate with fear and cowardice, or you can operate with strength and faith. And that's what Donald Trump operates with, strength and faith. And that's the kind of leader we need to see back at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. We need strength in this country. And Eric's right. I've been doing a little something with making sure that we have free, fair, and transparent elections, and that only legal citizens are voting in our elections here in the United States of America. That's okay. It's been the #1 focus of the RNC since I took over alongside our chairman, Michael Whatley, back in March. We have had a big goal of recruiting 100,000 people to volunteer as poll watchers, poll workers, legal experts on the ground. And we said, I don't know, 100,000 is a lot. I'm happy to report that we have trained 200,000 people across this country to do that. So our message is very clear. If you are a person who is considering cheating in our elections, we will find you. We will track you down and we will prosecute you to the full extent of the law.
Yeah.
And if you're an illegal citizen voting in our election, we'll track you down and prosecute you to the full extent of the law, and you're leaving this country. How's that sound? Don't do it. It's not worth it. But real quick, before I go, is everybody in this crowd registered to vote? Well, it could be that you've heard of someone who's been doing so much voter registration right here in Pennsylvania. His name is Scott Pressler. And he has done an incredible job. We have flipped Bucks County and Luzerne County from Democrat to Republican in terms of voter registration. And I would like to invite my friend, Scott Pressler, to come up and say a few words to you folks. If you would welcome him, please, to the stage right now.
Quick question. Do you guys want me to switch
And he
over
wore
to,
shorts for us today, so check out his
to
legs.
the,
Look at this.
to the Trump feed? It didn't have all this, like, overlay on it? All this overlay? I can do that. Just let me know. I really want to hear what you guys think.
wish I didn't wear shorts today. Mom and Dad, I honor you on the stage today, Captain Robert Pressler and my mom, Carol Pressler. Pennsylvania, you have the power to change the world. Pennsylvania wins the White House, and so please, I ask you today, please check your voter status, make sure you're an active voter registered at your current address, and please visit vote.pa.gov and register to vote today. A message to our union workers: we want your vote. We want to keep jobs here in America. To our beautiful Amish and Lancaster and across the state, we will protect your raw milk, your dairy, your farming, your school choice, your religious freedom, your ability to afford to have 10 beautiful children per family. To our hunters, 30% of you are not registered to vote. Please, our hunters, support the Second Amendment, register to vote. To our truckers that service us every single day, please request a mail-in ballot or vote early, lock in those votes. To our sorority sisters and our fraternity brothers, please, you have the power. If you're going to school here in Pennsylvania, register to vote legally and lawfully here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. I feel this from the top of my head to the tip of my toes. I love our great country. President Trump took a bullet for us. Please use your ballot and have his back on Tuesday, November 5th, and deliver Pennsylvania for Donald J. Trump. Thank you.
All right, before we go, what we're going to do here today, ladies and gentlemen, is we're going to make a new memory in Butler, Pennsylvania. And this will mark the moment that this election was won for Donald J. Trump. Let's send him back to the White House on November 5th. We love you, Pennsylvania. Thank you. God bless.
All right, muting the copyrighted music real quick. Guys, let me know. Do you want me to switch over to the Trump feed from Trump's channel? I get a little less harassment from YouTube when I'm on this one, but they have this overlay, right? They have the overlay, they have the ads, they have the scrolling bar. The Trump one is a lot more cleaner. It's just boom, it's just one big screen. Do you want me to switch? Let me know now, because I'm running out of time. I'll be sending to you, crowd, right now. Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. I need to know. I need to know. I need to know. Oh, they're playing their non-copyrighted music there. If you're out there, signs of life, signs of life. Get the chat going. It helps push us out in the algorithm. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button no matter where you are. X, Rumble, or YouTube. We're on all three. For everybody watching on Rumble, thank you so much for being here. Everybody out on there in X watching, thank you so much. You want me to try it?
That we just saw what we did because
Okay, so they're taking a little break here for a second and talking. So
we see him at every single
I'm going to just show you what the difference. Okay, here's the difference. Don't go anywhere. And there it is right there. You like that better? See, when I have it like this, when Trump speaks, I like to get down here in the corner and just give him the full thing. But I do get a little bit of harassment. Try it. Okay. You get a little different view. You get a bigger, wider view. I like that better myself. Whatever works better, try it. Pulls his head out of the hole and he's digging what? Huh? Thank you for the $10 super chat. Talking trash and truth. You rock. All right, I'm going to stop that. It's kind of quiet on this one right now. So yeah, that's actually kind of works better, I guess. Let's see, it is up. You guys can see, hold on. You guys can see the volume is up. And just have it muted right now. All right, thank you for the super chat again. All right, so we will be here. We've had a lot of people here today. Let me see. Let's make sure the volume is working good. I'm not hearing volume, so we're going back to the other one. All right, so yeah, that's how fast I can react. I don't know why there's no volume on that. Oh, wait. There we go. Boom. And boom. Oops. Wrong one. Watch myself there. There we go.
Trump said even when he
There we
visited
go.
Arlington
Guys.
with the
soldiers,
Yeah, I know. I
the
don't know why
families
there's no
of
sound
members
on
of the
that.
fallen soldiers from Afghanistan. He asked, does this get any easier? And they said, sir, it doesn't.
No.
It gets harder as time goes on. And we just don't know when life will end for all of us. It's something that we all share as human beings.
that guy
and
was
that
just
it's
testing the
fragile,
mic.
it's precious.
All right, my
We
bad.
must live every day to the fullest. And let me tell you, the
All right, I'll
people
keep an eye
here
on it, guys.
are
Just
living
don't go anywhere,
this day
right?
to their fullest,
Don't go anywhere.
not living in
I'm not
fear
gonna let you
or
miss
despair,
anything.
but with an incredible
be here
amount of
with us.
hope in order to
I want
see
you
their
to be here with
country
us.
made great again with policies that are just truly extraordinary and put common sense into practice at the end of the day with
Bit
the
hot stuff in the
MAGA
background.
policies, 20 policies, a platform that is good
All right,
for
cool. We'll talk for a
truly
minute.
all
At
Americans.
low volume. I'll keep it on.
And I'm sorry, there's a lot of people ducking because we really don't.
Yeah,
want
I do have low latency on,
important
so
shots, but I'll tell you,
what you're
there's
seeing is a
lot of
little bit
people up
delayed.
here and a lot of gracious
So I am working
coworkers,
here hard in
a
the
lot of
background to
wonderful
make sure
people
that you have the best
ultimately
experience
trying to find
possible.
their way onto
and
this
that we don't have
riser
any
without,
copyright
getting
issues
in
later
anybody
on.
else's way. It's impressive. It's impressive, I'll tell you.
It's a
Hot
back
stuff.
press
Yes,
pool,
that is
and,
hot
I
stuff.
think I've gotten my leg day in.
It's hot.
For sure.
And you
I
are
have
hot
been,
stuff if you're here. You're
I've been
part of the
neglecting
winner's
legs
circle.
in the gym, so
Thank
this
you
has
for
worked
being
out
here.
nicely, Nikki.
It's you're in a good
All
good
right.
quad work today.
Well, I'm looking
doing
forward
some
to
good
a.
quad work,
Let me get back
but
up
we
here.
are
My talking
excited for
place.
the literal leg work that people like Laura
I wonder
Trump
who's going to
and
come out
Eric
next.
Trump
Who's going to come
and
out
the
next?
entire family's really
I
putting
feel like
into
there's going to
this
be another
because
introduction here. I
sometimes you
wonder who's going to
forget that
introduce him. Maybe they'll just do the
all about
announcement
family,
introduction.
and it's all about
We'll see.
the
You guys
fact that
excited?
President
I'm
Trump
excited.
is a grandfather and a father, and
This will
he
be. I
wants
think
to
it'll
be
be a
here
little
for his
bit different
family,
of
but
a
he's willing to
speech.
put it all
I
on the
do.
line
I think I'll hit the
in order to
points.
save the country and use his business
We were
prowess
talking
and to
about
repeat
his
and
opening
empower people to
line.
make better what he
What
did
would be
in the
cool
first
if he
term
came
of
out
the
and said,
Trump
"Okay,
45
where was I?"
administration.
Or as I was saying, some kind of like
really
continuation of his last
that
speech.
I will tell you, if you're here in person,
Here in Butler, Pennsylvania, before he was so rudely interrupted.
And they're saying that this is one of the best
They're
days
playing
of their
hot
life,
stuff.
and
They
they're
are.
so grateful. And if you're not here,
You guys
I'm so glad
ready?
we can bring this coverage to all of you so that you
Let's
have an
do it.
opportunity to see.
Thank you guys so much for all the
exactly what's going on,
the
even
awesome
if you
super
can't be here
chats
physically
today
in
and the
person.
gifted
And seeing the
memberships. It really
family,
just
I
helped
just saw a
out so
quick,
much.
I went on Instagram to see if there was
It
any
really
posts
does.
from the
I
team.
really do appreciate
And
all
there
the
was a
support.
post of
It means a
President
lot.
Trump actually getting off of his plane
Love this crowd.
and being greeted by
And I appreciate each and every
the
one of you.
comparatory family, and he hugged the girls.
We're in this
he
together.
Hugged them all. They hugged him back. It was like a
We're
little
gonna get it
huddle,
right.
a little group hug. It was a really endearing, special moment, and it definitely got me choked up when I saw it. But it just, again, it goes to show you the compassion and humanity that President Trump has, and that's why he's here today.
And as you can see in the left-hand corner above the podium where President Trump will be speaking is Corey Capitore's uniform, his helmet that President Trump hugged and kissed on the RNC stage.
I don't
it's
see it.
surrounded by flowers as well. So a special memorial to
I don't see
to
it.
remember a great
I'm sure
man,
that's
a
going to
great
be coming
husband
up.
and father who loved his country, who loved his community, and was focused through the fire department.
What, you guys can
choosing a
hear that
vocation
more
of
than me?
service.
Okay, fine. I'll turn all the way down. I just want to make sure I catch the introduction. I'm going to go ahead and just take the risk, so at least I can hear a little bit of it. Yeah, we're waiting the president right now. He'll be out here any minute, any minute. So stick around. Make sure you watch it here with us.
As of recent, but still very smooth considering.
Let me just clear that thing there. Put that heart on that. All right, good.
Plus have showed up for this
Boom.
That's the number. It's pretty amazing. I mean, it just goes on for as long as the eye can see. So
I do have the volume up on the other feed just to see if the volume comes back. I'm listening intently for that as well. This isn't too bad as long as they don't put the overlays up and the advertisements up during the speech. That's you know, when he's talking, I get it. Like when other people are up there, but when he's talking, I just want to see a good, clean picture, the best picture possible. Getting excited. The crowd's getting excited. They're ready. I still can't tell if they're in the same position they were last time or if they've moved it. I think they've moved the stage over. I think they've redone the kind of like the setup, because you can see like there's a tower way over there in the corner. It may be in the same spot. It may be. Okay, it looks like people are getting excited.
There's a special video, I guess.
Maybe maybe somebody's coming out. What do they have going on here?
And I believe
Triumph over good.
There we go.
And our pride turns to mourning, all in an instant. The bravest among us suddenly fallen. Patriots and presidents besieged. A nation stunned to its core. And in the silence of our grief, in the stillness of our prayers, we ask, why? And we may never know. But in our nation's darkest moments, when all seems lost, when the cause seems to be unwinnable, when the night seems to never end and hope is on its knees. We rise. When will they learn this man cannot be stopped? This movement cannot be defeated. And even when they mock us, even when they slander us, even when they count us out of the fight, we will not stop.
We will not bend. We will not break. We will not yield. We will never give in. We will never give up. We will never back down. We will never, ever surrender. My fellow Americans, our movement is far from over. In fact, our fight has only just begun.
Gentlemen, please welcome the next president of the United States, President Donald J. Trump.
All the things were gone.
It was Christmas Eve in the countryside, snowflakes falling and reindeer outside. I got a little too married, had a glass or two.
Yeah, that music's copyrighted, so I gotta play something else for you. This is our Trump song. Yeah, we can't play the copyrighted music. Madcore, what's up, my friend? Elon and Vance are there. Fox is showing them just to the left of the stage. Also.
Well, this was Eve in the countryside, snowflakes falling and reindeer outside. Mama got a little too married, had a glass or two.
There we go.
She picked up the phone, dialed a number.
I like that pitch. I like that better. I like that better.
It was Christmas Eve in the countryside.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and bring down our theme song. All right, we're gonna bring this up. Yeah. Gotta keep it real low, real low. Oh, he's actually singing it. It's got a live performance, man. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. Yeah, no worries, no worries. When he's got it, nothing's happening. I do have a super chat. Now what? Is he gonna give me a hard time? Don't worry, we're gonna make sure we have the best feed. I can still have the other one running. I can jump back and forth if I need to. Yep. Even if he's singing it live, they'll still hit me. So I still gotta be careful. If we have any interruptions, believe me, we'll be right back to the other feed with the overlay on it. Just trying to make sure you have the best view of this historic moment. I'm so happy you guys are all here to share it together. And I'm so happy that my cheesesteak just showed up because I'm really hungry. So I'm going to be eating a cheesesteak for his Pennsylvania rally. There we go. I'm going to crank up the volume and let's roll. You guys hear it okay? If the volume's not there too, I'll switch back. Just let me know. Remember, I'm on low latency, so little delay. What? You can't hear it? Communicates.
Lee, thank you very much, really. And thank you, a very big thank you to Pennsylvania. We love Pennsylvania. And as I was saying,
there it is. That beautiful, beautiful. There we go. All right.
oh, I love that. I love that chart. I love that graph. Isn't it a beautiful thing? But also beautiful because look at the number. That's the day I left office. It was the lowest Border Patrol, the lowest it's ever been. Illegal immigration. Today it's out of control. But I love it for other reasons too. You know that. So thank you very much. And thank Lee and what Lee has done with that song. And it's such an honor to have it. I want to just let you know that tonight I return to Butler in the aftermath of tragedy and heartache to deliver a simple message to the people of Pennsylvania and to the people of America. Our movement to make America great again stands stronger, prouder, more united, more determined, and nearer to victory than ever before. We're going to make America great again. Going to win the election. Going to win the election. And to all Americans, whether you are Republican, Democrat, Independent, Conservative, or Liberal, or you have no label whatsoever, it makes no difference. Our movement, it belongs to you. It belongs to our country. It belongs to our country. And together in just 1 month, we are going to usher in a new golden age of American security, prosperity, sovereignty, and freedom for our citizens of every race, religion, color, and creed. Exactly 12 weeks ago this evening on this very ground, a cold-blooded assassin aimed to silence me and to silence the greatest movement, MAGA, in the history of our country. MAGA. We love MAGA. For 16 harrowing seconds during the gunfire, time stopped as this vicious monster unleashed pure evil from his sniper's perch, not so far away. But by the hand of providence and the grace of God, that villain did not succeed in his goal, did not come close. He did not stop our movement. He did not break out our spirit. He did not shake our unyielding resolve to save America from evils of poverty, hatred, and destruction. Yet we are here this evening in record numbers. This is a big crowd. This is a big one. This is a big one. Not only to mark the triumph of American spirit, but over, and you know that this is really, truly, in the truest sense, spirit over evil and adversity, but also to pay tribute to some of the best and bravest we have ever known. This field is now a monument to the valor of our first responders, to the resilience of our fellow citizens, and to the sacrifice of a loving and devoted father, a really great Man, you know that. Forever afterward. Forever after, all who have visited this hallowed place will remember what happened here, and they will know of the character and courage that so many incredible American patriots have showed and know, and they know it at a level never seen before, probably. First, I want to thank the men and women of the U.S. Secret Service who threw their bodies on top of mine without even a thought for their own lives. They were on top of me so fast. They were on top of me, and there was not even a moment of doubt in their minds. You watch those tapes, not even a moment of doubt. I want to thank Secret Service. They're great, great people. They are great people. And in that moment, those agents displayed a devotion to duty that cannot be described, and they did it yet again less than 3 weeks ago when they really did a fantastic job. Another attempt. It was another attempt. We have an evil world. We have a very sick world. My gratitude to them is beyond measure. We also owe a tremendous debt thanks to the Secret Service counter sniper and a local police sniper who returned fire within seconds and stopped the shooter quickly and saved many lives. If he didn't stop, he saved many lives. He had a lot of bullets, a lot of ammunition up there with him. And we are, just amazing when you think they did it so quickly without any knowledge of what was going on, boom. And had that not happened, it would have been a very different story. It would have been potentially many people. I also want to express our thanks to the Butler Township Police Department, incredible people. The Butler Sheriff's deputies, Pennsylvania State Police, and all of the other law enforcement heroes, as well as the emergency personnel and doctors, the medical teams at Butler Memorial Hospital, Allegheny General Hospital, who rushed me and rushed some of these very badly wounded people. They were wounded, a lot of badly wounded people, and in particular, two people. And I tell you, they were very brave and great people. They were big Trump fans, and they still are. That means something. That was pretty amazing. You know, when I got up, I asked whether or not anybody was killed. I assumed that there would be a lot because I heard the bullets winging right over my head. They said probably 3. The doctors did such an incredible job. It was one great gentleman. But the other 2 have been amazing, actually. They've gone through it. They've gone through a lot. And when the crisis struck, they did really Pennsylvania proud. You've heard that expression, Pennsylvania proud. It's a great place. I went to school. I went to college in Pennsylvania. It's a great place. The people are incredible. Also, and I have to say, after returning to the field tonight, is one of the really brave Americans who was hit by the assassin's bullet, U.S. Marine veteran David Dutch. David, thank you. Thank you, David. Thank you, David. And David, we're thrilled to see your recovery is going well. Great doctors up here, I have to tell you, great doctors. Your courage is really an inspiration to us all. So I want to thank you very much, David. A great gentleman, great gentleman. I want to send our love to someone who could not be here because he has just undergone a major surgery related to the shooting. A man who was really badly wounded, like David, James Copenhagen, because James was a wonderful man, a big Trump fan. And Mr. Copenhagen is out there watching us right now, but he's in a hospital where they did some additional work, but he's in great shape. He wanted to be here so badly, but he's in great shape, and we appreciate it, and we're looking to his full and complete recovery. He will have a complete recovery. Thank you. Thank you very much. And of course, there's one more hero who could not make it back here tonight because he is no longer with us, right? You know who that is, right? Corey, our beautiful Corey. Corey is not with us tonight, and he should be. And we all miss him. He's become somewhat of a folk hero, I have to tell you. Who is with us is his beautiful wife and daughters and relatives, sister. Please, where are you? Where are they sitting? There they are. There's a lot of people. It's not easy to find people in this audience. Goes back further than you can see. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Great family, a great, incredible family. And he loved you a lot. And, you know, his wife said something very beautiful. The public, a lot of people, all of us, a lot of people have been very generous. And she said, I'd rather have my husband. That's a good thing to say. That's a good thing to say. I'd rather have my husband. Corey Comparator was an incredible husband and father, a devout Christian, a veteran, and a proud former fire chief, very respected within the town. Everybody knew him. Few men volunteered to run into fires, but Corey was one of those who did. He ran into fires. I spoke to people that were with this guy would do anything. He was brave, right? Brave guy like you. And he was also a protector who put his life on the line for others, and he loved doing it. And when the sound of gunshots pierced the air on that July evening, Corey leapt into the fire one more time. In his last seconds of this earth, he threw himself on the top of his wife and daughters. He didn't want them hurt. He threw himself. He said he knew what was happening. He didn't want them hurt. And he was hit hard. He was hit hard. And he gave his life to shield their lives. Every father and husband in America hopes that if the time came, we would have what Corey had. Tremendous courage, tremendous guts, and he wanted to protect his family, and he did protect his family. At this time, it is 6:11, 12 weeks to the minute that the shooting began. I would like to ask everyone to join me in a moment of silence. Now that is what you call a voice. One of the greatest opera singers in the world, and Christopher Macchio, who's truly a great talent, is going to be back when I leave, and I'm going to stay backstage watching every song. He's going to sing 3 or 4 great songs, Nessa Dorma and others. And so I wouldn't leave your seat too fast when we're finished today, but this is in honor of 3 great people, actually, 3 great, and in particular, Corey. And we appreciate it, but that is a real voice, isn't it, huh? That's not, what do you think, Mr. Future Vice President? Pretty good, right? I don't know if you could do that, JD. I don't know. I don't think JD can do that. In the face of murderous hate, Corey answered the most selfless kind of love. We are joined this evening by Corey's incredible widow, Helen, his 2 precious daughters, Kaylee and Allison, and his sisters, Kelly and Dawn. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This is an incredible tribute. This is a tribute like no other, and he deserves it. To Helen and the entire family, I can only begin to imagine the depths of your grief, but I want you to know that just like you, we will carry his memory in our hearts for as long as we live. Everybody in this stadium and everybody that was there on that tragic evening, we are thinking about Corey. We think about him a lot. I know he's looking down on us right now from heaven, smiling at his beloved wife and daughters and his mother, Karen, and his entire family. And he's with you, and he's going to be with us for a long time because, you know, some people just don't die in vain, and what he's left behind is incredible. And so God bless you, Corey. God bless you. Thank you very much. God bless you. You know, I just one little story. Helen told me that on the day that they came to the rally, Corey was really excited because somebody gave him great seats right up front here with the people from North Carolina, the ladies from North Carolina. This is their 227th rally. I don't know what's going on with them. Those beautiful ladies. But they always seem to have good seats. You know? But Corey had the best seat in the house, and he was telling his wife and family on the way over in the car, he said, I'm telling you, he's going to invite me up in the stage, because I do that sometimes. I take people, we invite them up at the stage. And she smiled, thinking it'll never happen. And little did anyone realize that Corey would be on the stage 3 months later in an almost immortal position. And that's where he is today. He's on the stage in I think it's a truly immortal position. So the love that he showed on that day and throughout his life is the love that sustains the entire movement, love that our families have, and it's love of our communities and love of our country. It's a force more powerful than any hatred and malice, because even in the darkest hours, it shines forth as a guide, and it guides us like nothing could ever guide us. It guides us really like a candle in the night. And so it's love like Corey's that is joining us to save our country, that's going to heal our country, and that is going to reunite our country as one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So what our opponents have never understood is that this movement has never been about me. It's always been about you. It's been about a lot of people, millions and millions of people, the biggest ever in the history of this country, maybe anywhere. And everyday people who are the heart and soul of our country. They love our movement. They love our country, and they know they're doing right. Your hopes are my hopes, your dreams are my dreams, and your future is what I am fighting for every single day. And now I have a great companion in J.D. Vance. How good was he the other night? How good? He was great. He was great. But from the very beginning of this journey, I've been on a mission to rescue our country from a failed and very corrupt political establishment, very corrupt. We have to change it. We have to change it. We need also a very free and open press, and to give it back to the country you believe in and I believe in. It's the country that we were born in and the country that you deserve. You deserve this. In that mission, I will never quit. I will never bend. I will never break. I will never yield, not even in the face of death itself. And I believe that every citizen deserves an America with a grand, very, very grand ambition, great opportunities, and limitless. We just want limitless potential. We want an America where you can get ahead and be proud of life and provide for your family in a really decent way, where we don't have crime. We have a fabulous military to protect us from evil. We have everything has to be the best. We have to have the best schools. We have to have strong borders. We don't want bad people coming in and hurting us. We don't want to have open borders, do we? You deserve a government that protects and respects its own citizens, that defends your sovereignty, your security, and your dignity and your freedom. You deserve a nation that builds things, again, makes things better, that aims for the stars once more, and that once again commands respect. And we want to get respect like we had it 4 years ago. The entire world respected us. They respected us. They respected us more than they've ever respected us. And now they laugh at us. We can't have them laugh at us, can we? Above all, you deserve leadership in Washington that does not answer to the lobbyists, to the bureaucrats, or to the corrupt special interests, but answers only to you, the hardworking citizens of America, of which there are a lot of them. We have a lot of them. We have a lot of them. Over the past 8 years, those who want to stop us from achieving this future have slandered me, impeached me, indicted me, tried to throw me off the ballot, and who knows, maybe even tried to kill me. But I've never stopped fighting for you, and I never will. Never will. Never going to stop. Thank you. Thank you. And in turn, you have always stood with me. You have always stood with me, no matter what. You saw what was going on. You saw the hoaxes and the scams. You saw everything that went on. We are a team. We're a great team, I think. We're probably the best team ever in the history of our country, if you really think about it. We've fought together. We have endured together. We have pushed onward together. And right here in Pennsylvania, we have bled together. We've bled. We've had 3 people that really got hit hard. 2 of them made it. Great doctors, great doctors. They weren't supposed to make it. I wasn't supposed to make it. People said, my great doctor at Butler said, "Sir, you're the luckiest man alive. This would be a good time for you to go out and buy a lottery ticket." I've never seen anything like. I almost went out and bought a lottery ticket. I'll take it. And 31 days from now, here in this great Commonwealth and all across our land, we are going to win together. We are going to vote together. We're going to win the greatest election in the history of our country, maybe the greatest election all time. After we all have been through all of this together, nobody's gone through what we've gone through. Nobody. Because I go through it, you're going through it too. But there's never been anything like this. You know, I always say there's an enemy from within and there's an outside enemy. And if you're smart, the outside enemy is not going to be a problem. Russia, China, North Korea, we're not going to have a problem if you have a smart president. If you have not such a smart president, then it's a problem. But we have an enemy from within, which I think is much more dangerous than the outside enemy. We stand on the verge of the 4 greatest years in the history of our country. We can make these the 4 greatest years. We'll turn it around so fast that your head will spin. With victory on November 5th, we are going to redeem America's promise and unlock the extraordinary future that is just within our reach. It is now within our reach. Think of it, 1 month from today, 1 month. We got to get there. We got to get there. They'll drop all sorts of bombs. They'll be hitting you, JD. They'll be hitting me. These people, they'll hit and hit. But I think we've almost become immune to it, haven't we? We've become immune to it. You got a little dose of it, a couple of little doses. No, that's the only way. That's the only way they can even think about winning, with open borders. Who wants open borders? Who wants men playing in women's sports? Who wants sex change operations for illegal aliens in holding bins? No, I don't think so. We will begin a new era of soaring income, skyrocketing wealth, millions and millions of new jobs, and a booming middle class. We're going to boom like we've never boomed before. And we're going to unleash a manufacturing renaissance right here in Pennsylvania, including fracking like we've never fracked before. We're going to frack, frack, frack. You know, our opponent said, there'll be no fracking, no fracking. We'll never frack, we'll never frack. Then she started seeing poll numbers, by the way. And by the way, speaking of poll numbers, do you mind if I mention poll numbers? Because I only mention them when they're good. I never mention it. But one that's hit me really amazingly, Rasmussen, very highly respected poll. JD, it just came out. I don't think you heard this one, but this is a shocker. You know, they always say the Democrats will win the Hispanic vote, but we've been creeping up rather rapidly. And Rasmussen is one of the most respected polls. I mean, Republicans would get 4, 5, 6, 9, 10%. They just came out with a poll, 62% for Trump. Think of that. Think of that. And 34% for Kamala. I don't usually use her last name because nobody knows who I'm talking about. I go, Harris. They say, who's Harris? It's happening all the time. Who's Harris? And we can't find out who she is, because if we do, our country is going to be in big trouble. We will live in a very beautiful city or town that are safe and clean, with borders that are sealed and secure. And again, we want people to come into our country. We all want that. We need that. But you know what? We want them to come in legally. They're going to come in legally and love for our country. And America will once again be strong and confident and free. And we're going to have that. We're going to have it strong, confident, and free. That's why I'm here today. You know, I could right now be having a beautiful life. I don't have to be here. I could be on a gorgeous beach someplace. I have such nice property. I could be in Monte Carlo as an example, but I'd rather be in Butler with you. I would rather. I'd rather be in Butler. And I think JD would rather be in Butler, JD. Hey, Andy. No, I'd rather be here. Because we're doing something. You know, they got a lot of rich guys that go, nobody cares about them. I had one about a month ago, very, very rich guy, and he called me up. He said, President, I've known him for a long time. I don't say how long because I don't want my wife to hear that number. It's a long time. But he's very successful, and he said to me, sir, could you do me a favor? The guy's worth billions of dollars. He said, could you do me a favor? I can't get into a restaurant. Do you think you could call them to get me in? And I said, what the hell is the good of being rich if you can't get into a restaurant, right? And I called the maitre d'. Hi, I'm a little embarrassed. Hi, this is Donald Trump. I recognize your voice. I said, would you do me a favor? A friend of mine is online about a mile back. This is a very successful restaurant. And he's got his wife. I described the wife. Could you possibly go get them? Could you go get them and bring them in? And he did. And my friend called me up the next day. He said, thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, Doctor, please. Doctor in the house. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, doctor. Yeah, thank you. Take your time, doctor, please. We got plenty of time, right? We got a lot of time. You doing okay? Take your time. We've got to protect our people, right? Take your time. It's all right, doctor. Go ahead. That's all right. That's all right. People come out 2-3 days ago, and then they get it's an amazing thing. It's an amazing thing. We appreciate everybody appreciates it. Yep. Take your time.
A little heat exhaustion or something.
That's great. That's great. Do we have the greatest people in the world? We have the greatest people in the world. First responders, thank you very much.
Yes, man. All right. We're passing some water down. Pass some water out. Come back. Just taking a break to make sure everything's okay. All right. He's just taking a moment, and just making sure whoever that is and whatever's going on is all right.
Thank you.
That's a new one. You can't. That's awesome. Little known fact, I started the "We Love Trump" chant, and This 2020 rally here in Georgia. It was right at the end. At the end of the rally, and I was like, people had been doing it rally to rally to rally, and to me, it seemed like it wasn't going to go off, so I made it go off. I made it happen. I was like, nope, Georgia's going to do it too. That's what we did. That was my big moment at a Trump rally. My son was right there with me. We had a blast. Good old time.
Thank you, Doctor. Great job. Thank you very much. Thank you, fellas. Thank you, first responders. Thank you very much. People are here for a long time, and we appreciate it very much. And so sometimes that happens. A lot of times that happens, actually. But she'll be great. You watch. So 12 weeks ago, we all took a bullet for America, and all we are all asking is that everyone goes out and votes. We got to win. We can't let this happen to our country. We can't take another 4 years like this. We won't have a country left. We're not going to have a country left. And all of this will be for nothing if you don't get out and vote. It will all be for nothing. We will have talked about it, and if we do it, it'll be the greatest achievement, I think, in the history of politics for all of us for this age. Because we're going to change our country around and fast. We're going to do things that nobody thought were possible. We're going to do them fast. So Pennsylvania, it's time to stand up for America and a time to save our country. This is really about saving our country. It's never been like this. When you look at the crime, look at the crime. Look at the people that are coming in, murderers. 13,099 murders let in over the last short period of time. Murderers that have been released from penitentiaries, prisons, jails, released into our country. Crime rates all over the world are down. They're taking their gang members and their criminals. They're taking their people in jail, and they're releasing them into our country. We can't have it. You know, we just can't have it. How do you get more simple than that? They're releasing murderers. They're releasing drug dealers. They're releasing gang members and criminals. Human traffickers, mostly they traffic in women, and they're releasing them all into our country, and they're emptying their jails, and their crime rates in Venezuela are way down because, you know, but it's not only in South America, it's all over the world, in Africa, the Congo. A lot of people coming out of the Congo in Africa. They're coming out from Asia. They're coming out from the Middle East, Yemen. They're coming out from Yemen. A lot of people coming out of Yemen. And they're known terrorists, and they just release them into our country from countries unknown also. They know nothing about the people. Oh, go right in. These people are crazy. And we have to win. We'll stop it immediately, and it will be a big deportation. We're going to deport these people. We're going to get them out of our country immediately, or we won't have a country. And if we win Pennsylvania, we will win the whole thing. The whole thing will be won. So for the sake of our families, for the sake of our children, we will keep on going. And as the expression goes, I mean, I'm a little embarrassed to say it, to be honest with you, but I'm going to say it because a lot of people do say it. We will fight, fight, fight. We're going to fight for our country. We're going to fight for our country.
We will fight, fight, fight. We'll keep fighting.
And together we will save this country. We will restore the republic, and America's future will be bigger, better, bolder, brighter, happier, stronger, freer and greater, and more united than ever before. Our country will be united. You'll watch. You'll watch. You know, we had the most successful country ever, maybe in the world during my term. We had the greatest economy that we've ever had. And you know what was happening? We were uniting. The other side, radical left people were coming over. They wanted to meet. They were coming over. Women men. If you look at population, our black population, our Hispanic population, our Asian population, everybody was doing better. People that went to the best schools and best colleges in the world got the highest marks, and people that couldn't get a high school degree, everybody was doing better, and our country was coming together. And then we got hit with COVID, a gift from China. Some people would call it the China virus. And we did a great job on that too. We did a great job, but the world was disturbed. $60 trillion in damage worldwide, millions and millions of, tens of millions of people killed. And we still, during this 4-year period, we had the greatest economy, one of the great countries of the world. And we left with a stock market that was higher than it was just prior to COVID coming in. So what we did was something really incredible. But we had the greatest, most successful country ever. We had the greatest economy in our history, and we're going to do it again, and maybe even better. We learned a lot. We learned a lot about people and about doing things and what works and what doesn't work, and we're going to do it, and it's going to be quick. It's going to be quick, and we're going to have safe cities, and we're going to have great cities again, and we're going to have a capital in Washington, D.C., which is right now crime-ridden. You leave from the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, you go drive down to Washington, D.C., and you drive down and you end up getting murdered, you end up getting hurt, you get mugged. We are going to straighten out Washington, D.C. We're going to make it again the most beautiful capital in the world. We're not going to have graffiti. We're not going to have graffiti on our marble columns. We're not going to have roads that have potholes all over them and medians that are falling into the highways. We're going to run it properly. We're going to change it. We're going to run it properly. It's an embarrassment to us. Can you imagine foreign leaders coming in and running over roads that haven't been paved in years? We're honored to be joined tonight by one of the people who is going to help us build this incredible future. And he is a truly incredible guy. And I don't say that often. He's a great gentleman. He's done such an unbelievable job for North Carolina, for Georgia, for Alabama, for Florida, for Tennessee. His name is Elon Musk. He saved free speech. He created so many different great things. Where is he? Come on up here, Elon. He created the first major American car company in generations, and his rocket company is the only reason we can now send American astronauts into space.
There he is, jumping around.
Take over, Elon. Yes, take over.
Hi, everyone. As you can see, I'm not just MAGA, I'm dark MAGA. Well, first of all, I want to say what an honor it is to be here. And, you know, the true test of someone's character is how they behave under fire. And we had one president who couldn't climb a flight of stairs, and another who was fist pumping after getting shot. Fight, fight, fight! Blood coming down the face. Now, America is the home of the brave.
That's right.
And there's no truer test than courage under fire. So who do you want representing America? Yeah, absolutely. And I think this election, I think it's the most important election of our lifetime. This is no ordinary election. The other side wants to take away your freedom of speech. They want to take away your right to bear arms. They want to take away your right to vote effectively. You got 14 states now that don't require voter ID. California, where I used to live, is just passed a law banning voter ID for voting.
That's not a rigged game.
I still can't believe that's real.
Yeah, me either.
So How are you supposed to have a good, proper election if there's no ID? It's just meaningless. And free speech is the bedrock of democracy. And if people don't know what's going on, if they don't know the truth, how can you make an informed vote? You must have free speech in order to have democracy. That's why it's the First Amendment. And the Second Amendment is there to ensure that we have the First Amendment.
That's right.
President Trump must win to preserve the Constitution. He must win to preserve democracy in America. Yes. This is a must-win situation. Must win. So I have one ask for everyone in the audience, everyone who watches this video, everyone in the live stream. There's one request. It's very important. Register to vote. Okay, and get everyone you know,
show up,
and everyone you don't know, drag them to register to vote. There's only 2 days left to register to vote in Georgia and Arizona. 48 hours. Like, text people now. Now. And then make sure they actually do vote.
Yes.
If they don't, this will be the last election. That's my prediction. Nothing's more important. Nothing's more important. So get everyone you know. Everyone. So I'm speaking to people out there. Everyone in the crowd, I think, is already convinced. But for people out there that are watching the video, watching the live stream, you need to get everyone you know, at work, your friends, family, text groups, your social media, everything. Get them to register to vote right now. Only 2 days left for Georgia and Arizona. Only a couple weeks left in Pennsylvania. And if they're not registered to vote, it doesn't matter at that point. Register to vote. I'm being repetitive for a reason, okay? So nothing is more important. And a lot of people think maybe their vote doesn't count. Well, it does, okay? It does. It matters. And this election could be decided by 1,000 votes, 500 votes. A tiny margin. So get everyone you know to register to vote. I believe that's swapthevote.com. I believe that's the site. And double check that your registration is good. Don't take it for granted. I'm just being repetitive about this point because it is the one takeaway.
Your vote to conclusion.
More than anything that will matter is getting those registrations, and then getting everyone you know to actually vote. That is what will decide this election, especially in Pennsylvania. So thank you, and honestly, you want to just be a pest, just be a pest to everyone you know, people on the street, everywhere. Vote, vote, vote. Fight, fight, fight. Vote, vote, vote. Thank you.
What a great guy. And he'd rather be making rocket ships because he'd really rather do that. Nobody better. I think he's got 90% of the rockets that go up. But Elon, thank you very much. Incredible. Incredible. What he says is true. What he says is true. You know, we're all having fun here tonight. But if we don't register and if we don't vote, we're just going to look upon this as another sort of nice day in our life. But it won't even be a nice day. We're going to look back and we're going to say, wow, it's a lot of time, a lot of effort. We got to win. If we don't win, it's, as he said, it's just not important. We have to save our country, so you have to get out and vote. You got to get out and vote. You got to get your friends and vote because, you know, they play a lot of tricks, this particular other side. Elon's a very nice guy. He doesn't want to say it, but they play a lot of tricks. We can't let it happen. We can't let it happen again. We can't let it happen. And one thing, they showed us how bad they are. They showed us how bad a job they do. So that's one thing we got from this 4 years. They've done the worst job. That's the worst president in the history of our country. It's the worst vice president in the history of our country. And if you watched over the last couple of days, they are doing, this is a Katrina for them. This is one of the worst. They say it's the worst job ever done on helping people through the ravages of a hurricane. And they're watching, she's out there campaigning in San Francisco, a place that she ruined. Okay, she ruined San Francisco. She ruined, think of this, she ruined San Francisco. She was the worst DA, and she ruined the state of California. And now she wants to ruin the United States of America. We can't let her do it. So I called Elon to tell him that they needed Starlink as an example. They couldn't get Starlink. I didn't know what Starlink was, I must tell you. Elon, I'm so embarrassed. I didn't know what the hell Starlink was. That's his, he loves Starlink. He can tell you every little screw that's needed, every wire. Me, I didn't know. But when I was in North Carolina and Georgia just the other day, yesterday to be exact, but they were saying we have tremendous communications, especially in North Carolina, and we have tremendous problems. We have no communication. The poles were ripped down. The wires were underwater. Houses were destroyed. Possibly 1,000 people, maybe more, will be, you know, there's 600 people missing. Missing is not good because you know what missing means generally. That's really bad. And they had no communication. They had literally no communication with, they called it the mainland because the water was so crazy. It was like they were in the middle of a lake and they'd never seen anything like it. And they said, do you know somebody named Elon Musk? I said, yeah, I happen to know him a little bit. He just endorsed me, actually. Although he endorsed me a long time ago, but he still, to me, every day is a good endorsement from Elon. Nobody's smarter than Elon. And they said, could you do us a favor? Could you help us? We're trying to get Starlink, and it's very hard to get. Most people say you can't even get it. I called up Elon. I said, North Carolina's in big trouble. Georgia's in big trouble. They need communication. They have none because their poles have been knocked down and their wires are underwater and even dangerously underwater. But they have no communication. Elon, could you do something about Starlink, whatever the hell that is, Elon? Whatever Starlink, that's all they want to hear is Starlink. And an amazing thing happened. I got a call from one of the top people in North Carolina. I got a call from another great person in Georgia. And I wasn't finished with my phone call yet. And they got word that Starlink would be delivered to the States. I said, no. And I said, what the hell is he? What kind of a system is that? Normally you'd have to hang up and he'd go and call people. He did it during the phone call. What kind of a system do you have? That's why he's a very advanced, he is a very advanced person. But I want to thank you, Elon, because I got it. And I said, how does it work? 2 days later, how does it work? They said, much better than the wires. So now I'm saying, why the hell aren't they? You're going to come out very well anyway. And you know, he also said, you don't have to pay me. You pay me someday when you get the money back. You don't have to pay me. He wanted nothing. He's a great guy. Thank you, Elon, for being here. Thank you very much. Great honor.
Winning
Great
team.
honor. Thank you, Elon. And that's heartfelt. I can't even see the end. That's a lot of people here today. We're also joined by a great gentleman, a top, brilliant student. He went to a tremendous college and he graduated like right at the top of his class. In 2 years, I didn't know you could do that. It's 4-year college. Then he went to the military. Then he came out and he did fantastically inside the military. Then he came out. He went to Yale. Without the benefit of family ties. You know what that means, right? Without the benefit. That's pretty good without family ties. I don't know too many of those people. They had no family ties. He got in. He can't get in. And he graduated along with his wife they're not going to have any problems with your kids academically, I can tell you. His wife and him were like the top students in the class. But he went to Yale Law School, and then he went out into the private sector, did great. Then he ran for the Senate, and he did fantastically. He won, and he's like a rocket ship. He's like one of Elon's rocket ships, the way his career is going. But you see why, because he's a really brilliant guy, and you saw that the other night in the debate, right? You saw that the other night in the debate. You know the expression they have? If that were a fight, they would have stopped it, right? So I just want to thank JD. I was always confident in that pick. And we had great people too, JD. We have every one of those guys were great. Every one of them would have done a great job. It was amazing. But we appreciate the job you're doing. And he's also very energetic. And he'll go on anywhere. He'll go on MSDNC. I say, oh, he's on that. He'll go on CNN. It's like he has no problem. He swats them like this. He has no problem. No, it's true. You know, other people say, sir, I'd rather not do that one. I'd rather not do that one, sir. I'd rather not do them because they are, you know, very, with him, he doesn't care. He says, they're not going to outsmart me. So I want to thank JD. You've done a great job. Thank you very much.
Indeed, he has.
Amazing. Great. We have a lot of senators and a lot of people from Congress. I'm going to introduce a few of them that are really outstanding, and they are warriors and they're great patriots. Senator Eric Schmidt. Where's Eric Schmidt? He's around here someplace. Nice, tall, handsome guy. Thank you, Eric. What a great job you've done. He helps us so much with the Senate, and we've got a great Senate. We have to get a couple of more senators elected. I think it's going to happen too. I think it's going to happen. We have members of Congress here. Dan Muser. Dan, where's Dan? Great job. Real warrior. These are warriors. Guy Reschenthaler. That's the hardest name in the Senate to pronounce, but I've learned how to pronounce it. Guy, thank you very much. Great. Where's Guy? Guy, thank you very much, Guy. Glenn G.T. Thompson. Fantastic guy. Thanks, Glenn. Great job. John Joyce. Thank you, John. Great. Corey Mills. He's out there fighting too. He's out there. He is out there in North Carolina, Georgia. He's out there helping people. Mike Walz, who's a tremendous national security asset. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Mike. Okay, and a man who was my doctor. I got to know him as a doctor in the White House, right? And then before that, he was actually an admiral, and then he went to the White House. He was a great admiral. He was a great doctor. And I love him for one reason. They asked him in the White House, the press, the fake news media said, who is the most? He was the doctor for Obama, Bush, and Trump. That's pretty good, right? White House doctor for the three of us. He said, the press, who is the healthiest of the three? He said, definitely it's Donald Trump. There's not even a contest. And I love that guy. When he said that, JD, when he said that, I said, I like this guy. So then he said, you know, sir, he was leaving the White House. He said, you know, I'd love to run for Congress. And he ran against 28 people. They were all running for the Republican primary because whoever won that primary is going to win. I think it's a Trump plus 48. Whoever wins gets 48 point start. And not only did he win, he won easily. And now he's one of the most popular people in Congress and one of the most talented, maybe more importantly. Ronnie Jackson. Ronnie. Where's Ronnie? Where is you? Oh, good. Thank you, Ronnie. And you got a lot of talent surrounding you there. I think it's very important also. We're here for a reason, and that's to win and to honor Corey. But Corey wants us to win too. And there's a man in the audience that's been very much a career path, a little bit like JD, great student, great talented student, and fantastic in the military. Then went out to be a tremendous success, one of the most successful people on Wall Street, actually. And he's tough and he's smart, and he's going to make sure you always have fracking in Pennsylvania. And he's going to make sure you have many other things other than fracking. You have a senator that now does nothing. He does nothing. And he doesn't fight for you. He votes with Biden, if you can believe it, like 100% of the time. But this guy, and you know, we're lucky that he does it. I don't know. He might not have done it if he had it to do again. I don't know. But I think he's just one of the most outstanding people anywhere in the country to run for office. And we're lucky that he's doing it, and he's got a real shot. He's doing very well in the polls. It's hard to beat somebody that's been there a long time, but this is somebody that's been there a long time and did nothing. He did nothing. And his name is David McCormick, and he's great, and I hope he's going to be your next senator. And I see somebody else I didn't know he was here. Mike Kelly. I see Mike Kelly. Stand up. Oh, boy, am I lucky. Am I lucky I spotted him? If I didn't spot you, I was in big trouble, right? This is a man who's beloved in this state, and he's fantastic. So thank you, Mike. Thank you. We also have some terrific people from law enforcement. Butler County Sheriff Mike Sloop. Thank you, Mike. Great job. Thank you. Thank you, Mike. Thank you for your help, too. I could tell you. Thank you for your help. I can say that. Thank you very much. Butler County Commissioner Leslie Oshie. Leslie, thank you. Thank you, Leslie. Great job. RNC Chairman Michael Watley. This guy is doing a great job. He's doing great. Came from North Carolina. We won North Carolina. He kept their cheating down to a minimum, and we were able to win it, and we were solid all night long. And he's great, but if we don't have good results by the 6th of November, I will never say that about him again. No, he's a great guy. He's working very hard. 24 hours a day he's working, I know that, and he's working mostly on Stop the Steal, because we have a lot of votes. We have plenty of votes. Stop the steal. That's why you've got to get out. You've got to get out and vote. We're going to win this thing. And the more we win it, you know, it's too big to rig, you know, the expression we use, make it too big to rig. You know, at a certain point, Elon would understand this better than anybody statistically. At a certain point, their cheating doesn't matter. And we want to make it too big to rig. And we also have somebody that's very special, the co-chair of the Republican Party, Lara Trump. Thank you. Lara, thanks. And, you know, oftentimes with families, they say, oh, you know, why did you put that one in or this one in, and all the different people. So many people have problems with that. In her case, everyone said, how the hell did you get her to do it? She has been unbelievable. So thank you very much. Comes from North Carolina, and I have a feeling she's going to be spending some time down there a little bit. And she's married to my wonderful son, Eric, who's right here. So, Eric, please stand up. He's a great guy. Eric has a distinction. He has gotten more subpoenas than any man in the history of our country by about 10 times. Every day Congress would meet, they'd send him a subpoena. What is it about? They have no idea. But I think he's got the all-time record, and he's handled it all beautifully. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. A friend of mine, a great, great businessman, one of the most respected people, and he made a big, big contribution yesterday to Georgia and a big contribution to North Carolina. Steve Witkoff is here. Hi, Steve. Thanks. And another man who's one of the greatest businessmen in the country, he actually said that if Trump doesn't win, this country is going to go into a massive depression. Well, I don't know about that, but he has been a very good predictor, I will say that. And truly one of the greats, one of the great pickers, picker meaning stocks. He knows what he's doing, and highly respected by everybody. John Paulson. Thank you, John. Great. Great guy. Now, we have so many others, and I won't do it because we have to really get out of here before it gets too cold for people. But I love it much better because there's one teleprompter. Not that I use the teleprompters too much. Isn't it nice to have a president that doesn't need a teleprompter? No, we don't need it. But this one was right smack in the sun. Great job back there, fellas. They said the teleprompters are working fine. Well, thank goodness. Did you see what happened the other day with the teleprompter with her? That was not a pretty sight. The teleprompter went off and she went off too. She didn't know what the hell happened. And you know, teleprompters are very dangerous because they go off a lot. You have to be prepared for them to go off cold blank. You'll have 100,000 people. You have 75,000 people. You have this. And if the teleprompter goes off, you got to be able to move. She did not move well. This was not a good situation. But 3 more heroes from July 13th who rendered first aid to Corey incredibly. Dr. Jim Sweetland. Rico Elmore, who was unbelievable. Rico, you were unbelievable. He ran over, National Guard. He ran over and grabbed Corey, and Corey was still living, and he was doing mouth-to-mouth resuscitation on a man who was really in bad shape like nobody's ever seen, and his family appreciates it, and I do too. So thank you, Rico, very much. Right? Amazing, amazing, amazing the people that we have. And you learn about them under times like this. That's when you really learn. So we're going to be seeing Rico again. And Ed Shear, fantastic job. Thank you, Ed. We appreciate it. Thank you, Ed. Thank you. Thank you very much, Ed. Great job. In addition, this evening, we have to send our prayers and support to all the families affected by Hurricane Helene. This has been the worst hurricane response by a president and vice president since Katrina, and this is simply not acceptable. Those people, I was there yesterday with North Carolina and Georgia, and I'll tell you, and by the way, the governor of Georgia is doing an excellent job, but we have other people that aren't doing a good job, and we have to have them do a good job, but the federal government is doing a very bad job. They are not doing the job, and we have death and destruction that we haven't seen maybe ever. It's a real bad one, and they have to get people there because they don't have people there. They don't have the people. Kamala wined and dined in San Francisco, and all of the people in North Carolina, no helicopters, no rescue. It's just what's happened there is very bad. They're offering them $750 to people whose homes have been washed away. And yet we send tens of billions of dollars to foreign countries that most people have never heard of. They're offering them $750. They've been destroyed. These people have been destroyed. The one young lady washed, you saw that with her son. I mean, pretty, I wish I never saw it, but just washed away. Your son was washed away with the grandparents, and so sad. And they're giving them $750. And think of it, we give foreign countries hundreds of billions of dollars, and we're handing North Carolina $750. If you want a president who won't even try to save you when the floodwaters are rising, vote for Kamala. She's not the right person. Look, you know what? If they did a good job, I wouldn't have run. To be honest with you, I didn't need to do this. I didn't need to. If I thought they were doing an even modestly good job, I wouldn't have run, but I saw right from the beginning, grossly incompetent, and I was right about that, and I decided to run, and we're doing really well. I was telling you about polls. We're way up in some polls. We're up in other polls, and with the swing states, I think most of them have us up in every single swing state, including the great commonwealth of a place called Pennsylvania. And don't ever not call it a commonwealth, because I've seen people call it a state, and that's the end of them. That's practically the end of their political career. You got to be very careful with Pennsylvania. It's that commonwealth. I haven't made that mistake. I don't want to either. It was not a pretty picture. If you want a president who will stop at nothing to protect you and your family, I hope you're going to vote for a gentleman named Donald J. Trump. Have you heard of him? Together we will rebuild Western North Carolina, rural Georgia, and every other state that's been so badly affected. That includes Alabama. Virginia was very hit hard. South Carolina was hit very hard. Florida. So many states. Tennessee was hit really hard. They were all hit, and we're going to work with them. And, the next president is going to be the one that really, once they got to get this done. But once that happens, the next president is going to be the one that has to really help them. And JD will be there to help them. I know that. 2024 is the most important election in the history of our country. And here are the facts. My opponent, Kamala Harris, is the most incompetent and far-left nominee ever to run for president. You know, she's much further left than crazy Bernie Sanders. You know that. She wants to open borders. She took the most secure border in U.S. history and turned it into the worst border in the history of the world. Remember, she was appointed border czar. She says she wasn't now after 3 years, but she was. But whether she was or not, she was in charge of the border. And the other day I saw her get up and say, we will do this, we will do that. We're going to. Why didn't they do it 4 years ago? Why didn't they do it? The damage is so bad, and so it's been done. She let in 21 million illegal aliens from all over the world, from prisons and jails and mental institutions and insane asylums, and they're terrorists at record levels, at levels we've never seen before. She cost you $29,000 a family through inflation price hikes. And now she wants a larger tax hike, and she wants to go the largest tax hike in American history. There's never been a tax hike like what she's proposing. She's going to raise your taxes a minimum of $3,000. She's a big taxer. And she was the original creator of Defund the Police. I think for all the sheriffs over here, if you're a partner in Defund the Police for even 2 days, you cannot be president. But she was one of the founders of Defund the Police, and she still believes that, by the way. I don't know how anybody could, but she still believes that. And if she ever had a chance, there's a good possibility she'd go back to it. Can you imagine? Somebody's robbing our house. Well, there's nothing we can do about it. That's what they say. There's nothing. You know, they tried it. And you know where they tried it? In Minnesota with our vice president. And it wasn't working out too well. It was working out very well for the robbers and the criminals. That's the only one it was working out well for. Kamala Harris vowed to abolish ICE. She wants mass amnesty and citizenship for illegals. And worst of all, she lost. And this is maybe the worst thing in the whole, that nobody talks. The fake news won't mention it. She lost more than 325,000 migrant children that are now dead in slavery or just plain missing, probably never to be seen again, never to see their parents again. But this isn't like, this is 325,000 have been lost. She praised the idea of a 70% to an 80% tax rate. She imposed a natural gas export ban on Pennsylvania, which is killing your energy workers and your pricing. You know, you have one of the highest energy costs in the country, and yet you're sitting on top of a massive amount of energy that she doesn't want to get. It's been a disaster for your state, and now she's vowed repeatedly. Now, all of a sudden, she changed her mind. But when, you know, with politicians, it's always the first statement that comes out to be the one they want. So she spent 14 years knocking fracking. We're never going to have fracking. We're not going to frack. All of a sudden, a little while ago, she came out, I love fracking very much. No, she'll go back to it. And she even endorsed free sex changes for illegal aliens in detention at taxpayer expense.
And prisoners.
I don't think Elon likes that idea. These are not ideas that Elon Musk likes too much. And it was just announced yesterday in California, and he took this one from me. I'm so upset. But think of it, that the far less than average governor, Gavin Newsom, has banned any and all ID requirements from voting and registering to vote. You're not even allowed to mention the fact, Elon, you're not allowed to mention the fact. You can't say, may I see your ID? If you do, it's a criminal act. This is a takeover of the country. You're not allowed to ask for an ID. If you do, it's a criminal count. Other Democrat states are following. This is only so they can cheat. There's only one thing that you do this for, so that you can cheat on elections. There's no other conceivable reason. Kamala Harris is a radical left Marxist. She is a woman that's not respected in Congress. She was laughed at Congress. Nobody thought she could win. You know, they did a coup of Biden. Whether you like him or not, I'm not a particularly big fan, but we had a debate, and the debate ended, and all of a sudden they come to him and they say, we want you out. You're not going to win the election. And he said, I don't want to get out. He got 14 million votes. If you believe in democracy or a system, he got 14 million votes, and she got none. She was the first one out, 22 candidates, and she never made it to Iowa. She quit before Iowa, and now she's running. And that's okay. But, you know, we spent $150 million beating Biden. And as soon as he was down and out for the count, they said, let's take him out. We'll give somebody else to run. Never happened before. We do a lot of firsts, I will tell you. We do a lot of firsts. But she's a person that rated even worse in every statistic than any other senator. She was rated at the bottom of the U.S. Senate. She's destroyed everything she touched. But the good news is that we have a plan to fix it. We're going to fix it. We're going to fix it fast. Nobody is going to stand for open borders. Nobody is going to stand for a bad military. Nobody is going to stand for education that's not proper. We're moving education back to the states. You're going to be running your own education. So we have, you know, in education, so important is what's more important than education, but we rank at the bottom of every list. They rank 40 major countries. We're at the bottom, but we're top of the list as the cost per pupil. We spend more per pupil, per student, than any other country anywhere in the world. So we're number one in that, and we're number 38, 39, or 40 every single time. And you have Denmark, you have Sweden, you have Norway, you have China. It's always a top 5. Can you believe it? China's a top 5. That's amazing. But we're going to move our education back to the states. So places like Indiana and Iowa and Idaho and states that you don't even hear too much of because they're so good and so well run, they're going to run their own education. And you know what's going to come out of that? A Denmark, a Norway, a Sweden, maybe, I don't even know, China. Can you imagine China with 1.4 billion people is a top 5? And we're close to 40. We are 40 sometimes. Starting on day 1, I will seal the border and stop the migrant invasion into our country. We will begin the largest deportation operation in the history of the United States. Dwight Eisenhower right now has that record. It's not, and by the way, it's not something I want to do. I dread having to do it, but we have no choice. What they've done to our country is not even believable, especially the criminals, the criminal element that's in our country. And again, all over the world, crime rates are down because they've taken their criminals and they've dumped them into the United States. And you know what? I would have been worse than them. I would have had it done even faster. They've dumped them into the United States of America, and that's what we have. And it's dangerous out there. We're getting them out. We're getting them out quickly. And we will defeat inflation, and we will make America affordable again. And it's going to start with liquid gold. We have more liquid gold, oil, and gas under our feet than any nation in the world, including Saudi Arabia and Russia. We will become energy independent like we were just 4 years ago. You know, 4 years ago, we were energy independent. Can you believe it? And then we were going to become energy dominant. We will be dominant within a matter of months, and we will make so much money. We are going to drill, baby, drill. And we will again open Anwar. Ronald Reagan tried to do it. Every single president from before Reagan tried to do it, and I got it done. Anwar is the largest drilling site anywhere in the world. It could be larger than Saudi Arabia, could be larger than Russia. It's in Alaska. And I got it done, and we worked to get it done. And one of the first things he did was terminate Anwar. And that was going to take care of all of Asia. That was going to make us so much money. We would have paid off debt. You would have gotten, I gave you the biggest tax reduction in history. You would have gotten even a bigger one. You were going to be just very happy. You were going to say, I like that guy very much. 20 million Americans are behind on their electric bills right now. It was just announced. 20 million Americans, they're struggling to pay their monthly bills at a record rate. There's never been anything like it. And it's all because of their anti-U.S. energy regime, which has caused Pennsylvania electricity prices to raise almost 50%. Your interest rates way down. We will bring automobile manufacturing back to the United States at levels never seen before. And we will turn the United States into a manufacturing superpower again. It hasn't been there in many, many years. We had it started 4 years ago. The centerpiece of my plan for a manufacturing renaissance will be a 15% made in America corporate tax rate. In other words, if you make your product in the United States, you get a rate. So I cut it from 39% to 21%. Everyone said that was impossible. I got it done. And we had the best boom we've ever had. We did more revenue when we had it at 21 than when it was at 39. Think of it, much more. The following year, we did much more. And then I'm going to take it from 21 to 15, which will make us the most competitive country in the world. Nobody will be able to compete with us. But that 15 rate only goes for those who make their product in America. They have to make their product here, otherwise they pay 21. And we will protect those companies moving into America and all of our existing companies with stiff tariffs placed on companies that don't move in. If they don't come in, if they don't want to make their product here, that's fine, but they're going to be tariffed. We have to protect our companies, and that's what we're going to do. The only way they can get out of paying those tariffs is to build their plants and factories in America. We may even be able to get Elon to build some of them. I think we will. And hire American workers for the job. We're going to hire American workers for the job. We will pass the Reciprocal Trade Act. If China or any other country charges us 100 or 200% tax, then we will likewise charge them a 100 or 200% tax. We had a lot of problems on that one with the Senate, and we're going to get that done. Think of it. They charge us, and we don't charge them. Now they charge us. We're going to charge them the same thing. Reciprocal. It's reciprocal. I will not let Mexico, China, or any other country sell cars into the United States to the detriment of our auto workers who will do better than they have ever done. We're going to bring back the car business like it was 50, 60, and 70 years ago. Everyone's going to want to be back here. And I will not approve Japan buying U.S. Steel 70 years ago, the greatest company anywhere in the world. It was the greatest company anywhere in the world, and now we have Japan buying U.S. Steel. I don't like that. We will deliver massive tax cuts for workers, and we will have a policy that I think is so great. No tax on tips. No tax on overtime. And no tax on Social Security for our great seniors. No tax. And you know, when you think of it, our seniors were hurt so badly. Inflation has killed our seniors. You know, they have a fixed income and it just got worse and worse every week, every month. It's gotten worse and worse, and it's just horrible. And they haven't gone down. They've only gone up. Prices have still only gone up. And while working Americans catch up, we're going to put a temporary cap on the credit card interest rates at 10%. People
we got blocked over on YouTube.
Interest, 25% interest.
Thanks for watching, Karen.
I will always protect Social Security and Medicare with no cuts. We're not going to do anything with Social Security, but they're going to destroy Social Security because all of the migrants coming in are going on between Medicare, Social Security, other programs, and nobody is able to afford it. I will settle the war in Ukraine. I will end the chaos in the Middle East, and I will prevent, I promise you, World War III. We're not going to have World War III. And right now, we're very close to having it. We will lead the world in space exploration. Thank you, Elon. We will lead the world in military, and we will reach Mars before the end of my term. Elon promised me he was going to do that. I don't know. Can you do that? Stand up. Can we do that? He wants to reach. I think he's going to do it. JD, work on him. Work on him.
Sorry, Rumble needs some love.
JD is working on Elon. Now, he told me that we're going to win, and he's going to reach Mars by the end of our term, which is a big thing. Before China, before anybody, right? And my money's on that guy right there. We will rebuild our cities, including Washington, D.C., making them safe, clean, and beautiful again. And we will keep the U.S. dollar as the world's reserve currency. It's losing right now. It's losing right now, but I'll be able to do it. Other people won't. I'll tell these countries as they leave us I say, you want to do business in the United States? You're going back into the reserve currency. And if you don't, We're going to charge you a big, fat, beautiful tax to do business in the United States. And they're going to say, I would love very much to go back into the U.S. reserve currency. No, we're going to save it. But these people aren't going to save it. They don't know how to talk. They don't know how to think. Together, we will deliver low taxes, low regulations, low energy costs, low interest rates, and low inflation so that everyone can afford groceries, a beautiful car, and a home. Very basic. It's very basic. We will stop the invasion, end migrant crime, strengthen our military, build a missile defense shield around our country, keep critical race theory and transgender insanity. We're going to keep it the hell out of our school. We're going to keep that insanity out of our school. And as I said, we will keep men out of women's sports. So demeaning to women. You saw that in the Olympics. They have female boxing, women's boxing, and a young lady from Italy, very good boxer, very, very good. She was all excited, but she played a person who transitioned. A male transitioned to a female. And the young girl from Italy, beautiful young woman. I'm not allowed to say that anymore politically, but I'll say it. She was a beautiful young woman. If you say that, that's the end of your career, right? But
We got it locked down. Wow.
If it is, so be it, okay? We've got to get back to real life. But this beautiful young lady is out, and she gets a little jab, left jab. And she goes back, oh, my God, I've never been hit like that. This is just like a defensive. Then he goes, the corner say, you can take her. You can. So they push her out. Boom, another one. And she says, that's enough. I can't do it. I can't take it. I've never seen anything like. So we had two people that transitioned. Both people, shockingly, won the gold medal in their division. So it's crazy. And if you look at weightlifting contests, they're the best of all. For years and years and years they put an eighth of a pound on one side of the barbell, an eighth of a pound on the other, and they can't do it. And the record standing for 18 years, they just can't do it. And then a guy comes along who never lifted before, and he puts 100 pounds on, and he goes like this, like it's nothing. It's so demeaning to women. We're not going to allow it to happen. It's ending. No men playing in women's sports. And we will defend the Second Amendment, protect religious liberty, restore free speech, and we will secure our elections. Everyone will prosper, every family will thrive, and every day will be filled with opportunity and hope. We need hope. We need the American dream back, don't we? We're going to have the American dream. We're going to have the American dream, so every kid in your family is going to grow up and say, I want to be like Elon Musk. I want to have 200 billion in cash. I'm going to be like Elon Musk. That's the American dream. But for that to happen, we must defeat Kamala Harris, and we must stop her country-destroying, radical left agenda once and for all. We cannot have it happen. So you must get out and you must vote. Here in this incredible Commonwealth, we stand on the shoulders of generations of Pennsylvania patriots who gave everything they could give. Pennsylvania is where our founding fathers declared American independence and sounded the beautiful Liberty Bell. It's where the Army weathered its brutal winter at Valley Forge, where General George Washington led his men on a daring mission across the Delaware, and where generations of tough, strong, beautiful miners and steelworkers put Pennsylvania's spirit into every single thing they did. And from Gettysburg to Germantown and Philadelphia to Barron Hill, and from Brandywine to right here in Butler, this is the place where Pennsylvania patriots poured out their blood with the love of their country. They love their country so much. And so in honor of all those American heroes who came before us, we will press forward. We will push onward, and together we will win, win, win. We're going to win, win, win. Nothing will sway us. Nothing will slow us. And no one will ever stop us, no matter what dangers come our way, no matter what obstacles we must face. We will keep striving toward our magnificent American future. We will not fail. We will not allow ourselves to fail. From this day forward, we will always put America first, and we will take back and save the United States. November 5th, Election Day, will be the most important day in the history of our country. And together with the great people of Pennsylvania, we will make America powerful again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America healthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you, Pennsylvania. God bless you. God bless you, Pennsylvania.
Not that it matters, but you know, we like this song too. This one works too. Oh, please sing Mama Dogs.
Well, it was Christmas Eve in the countryside. Snowflakes falling and reindeer outside.
All right.
Mama gotta live too.
There you have it. Okay, so we're Heidi. I think we're gonna show your eye.
Picked up the phone and down the wrong number.
It's kind of funny.
Mama died herself. Didn't know what she'd done.
Oh, is that when they cut it? How convenient.
She said, hey, Mrs. Claus, bring me some rum.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Well, Mama
Yeah, they could have done it.
ain't that some? It was Christmas Eve in the countryside. Snowflakes
All right.
falling and reindeer outside.
Just enjoying the sights here. Just enjoying the sights. There you go. Take it in.
Mama gotta live too.
Trump's triumphant return. Butler, Pennsylvania, went off without a hitch. What a great crowd.
Mama died herself. Didn't know what she'd done.
Coming up, we're going to show that new ad. I'm going to look for it right now.
She said, hey, it's Mrs. Claus, bring me some rum.
You said it was on Trump's channel?
Ain't that some?
Welcome back, Mr. President. I got you. Okay. Right here. All right, I got it queued up. Queued up for next. It's just at the Anwar comment from Trump that it showed the stream suspended. But then it was the instant that you put my last comment up too. Oh, what was that? This one? I don't know what was being talked about. It was heated up dinner since I haven't eaten. Okay. Gotcha. Well, I'm glad you're getting some dinner. I enjoyed mine. Very good. All right. I'm going to wind this down here. I'm going to go to this awesome new video. There we go. All right. And let's snap on over here to check out this new video. Yeah, you know, they'll take your stream down and they won't even copyright claim you for it. That stuff happens all the time. All right, let's take a look at this.
There are some moments in history that are forever seared into our hearts. Moments when time stops, when joy is shattered by pure terror, when evil seems to triumph over good, and our pride turns to mourning, all in an instant. The bravest among us suddenly fallen. Patriots and presidents besieged. A nation stunned to its core. And in the silence of our grief, in the stillness of our prayers, we ask, why? And we may never know. But in our nation's darkest moments, when all seems lost, when the cause seems to be unwinnable, when the night seems to never end, and hope is on its knees. We rise. When will they learn this man cannot be stopped? This movement cannot be defeated. And even when they mock us, even when they slander us, even when they count us out of the fight, we will not stop.
We will not bend. We will not break. We will not yield. We will never give in. We will never give up. We will never back down. We will never, ever surrender. My fellow Americans, our movement is far from over. In fact, our fight has only just begun.
That was perfect, Heidi. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. That was absolutely perfect. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Sorry about the abrupt ending on the YouTube side, but if you made it through it, if you saw it through that, thank you so much. Yeah, that was a little hard to deal with, but you know, we have to, like I said, we'll never give up. You can't stop us. You can try to do all your dirty little tricks. It's not going to work because good will triumph over evil at the end of the day. That is the promise. That is the promise that we've all been made, and it will happen. So thank you guys so much. It's been a long stream. We had a lot of fun today. I appreciate each and every one of you that was here throughout and who made the jump over when the evil tried to silence us. Thank you guys for supporting us over here on Rumble and out on X. You guys are awesome. Really do appreciate all the love and support you guys give. It means a lot. I'll be back tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern with Shelly talking trash and truth for Old School Watch Party Sundays. And again, I'll probably by tomorrow I'll remember the name of this documentary, but it's going to be really good and it's timely too. And I think definitely definitely come watch this one because it's going to dive into a lot of the things we talk about and something we need to be aware of, especially for those who are still kind of like finding their way through the second veil, the alternative narratives, and trying to decide what's true and what isn't out there. It's called the Antisocial Network, Memes to Mayhem. It's about those boards where a lot of these conspiracy grifts grow and get their legs, and where they're formed. And I think we're going to find a lot out about stuff like that tomorrow from the people who actually created the platforms and installed them from their inception, as well as some other important topics that have to do with how we're going to behave in the future, you know. And we'll also have a movie. The movie is Weird Science. It's an awesome movie from the 80s, a lot of fun. So I hope to see y'all there. But for now, I'm going to get on out of here. Thanks again to each and every one of you. Thank you to everybody who super chats, supports the channel, the members, and to the great mods who do all the hard work out there. Thank you guys so much. And until next time, stay based, get active, vote, and keep on winning.
I'm going to leave you with this one final message. We're going to win the election. We're going to win it big. We're going to win it bigger than ever before. We're going to do things that nobody believed. It's going to be more important even than 2016. We are going to make America great again. Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody.
This is a friendship that